Welcome back to the Shifting Focus podcast. Today we have some locals. We got Alex and Kristen from Militia Fitness. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So you guys all chatted and got to know each other a little bit. Now it's my turn. So
Yeah. We wanted it to feel more organic for you,
Right.
but I picked their brain.
Tell me about them. You're like, no.
You did. On the drive over, he's like, so what are we talking about? I'm like, no, you get to learn how I did. It's really fun. Their story is really cool.
Heck yeah.
I gave Cliff Notes, but I didn't want to give too much away. So you guys get to tell David for the first time. He doesn't know much about you guys, but I do. And you're incredible. And I love what you're doing in Destin. And I love how you're transforming mindset and body and the whole physical everything. You're doing the whole package.
You guys do plastic surgery? Is that what you said? The whole
Yeah,
physical
this is the
everything?
whole physical everything, all right? You come in, no, we don't do any plastic surgery.
We go, ooh, the gym's not going to do too much, so we're going to take you to the lipo machine in the back.
Honestly, it's so weird because normally we're the people trying to figure out what the people are doing. Like, it's my job to ask all the questions and figure out who you are. And now to be on the other side of the table, I'm like, all right,
I know, this is very weird.
here we go.
Yeah, we're normally like
So what
getting
brings
people
you into
to
the
know.
gym?
Yeah, it's like, what are your
Exactly.
goals? What are we?
Yeah. What do you want to
It's never about
accomplish?
me.
Yeah.
This
Is it more
really
about
weird.
functional fitness? Is it about losing weight? Is it those type of things you're
Do you
asking?
have any allergies to certain
Oh
foods?
my
Do you want to make
gosh.
your diet plan?
I mean,
I'm allergic to iron.
It really depends on, like, when people come in, you have to fight past the first area of like words. So like everybody wants to be toned.
Yeah. So then we're like, okay, well,
What
does that
does
mean?
Let's tone it down
You
a little,
know?
guys.
what
Yeah.
does toned actually mean? You know, so like we have to figure out how to figure out 5 questions deep about what people actually want from the gym. So the first thing we do is literally we sit on the other end of a podcast table with no microphone and go, so what does toned mean to you? What would that look like? You
Well,
know?
what I want is I don't want to be big and bulky, so I don't want to lift heavy weights.
have you been
because
a part
I
of
don't-
all these conversations?
Because I love the misconception of if you lift heavy weights, I'm gonna be so jacked, and I
wanna
just
be
really want to
manly.
be more like fit. You know
Yeah,
what I
that
mean?
was definitely me going into the gym. I was like, I'm not working out at that place because
Everyone
I don't
will
want to
be-
be bulky. Like, I wanted to be skinny. That's all I wanted.
Is the
Everybody
gym
would be
more...
jacked.
That's a good place to start.
When you think, when I
gym?
think gym, I think cardio machines and like free weights. But when I saw your pictures, you guys are different. Tell us
Well, I was
about your
gonna say,
gym.
You're
And
basically crunch fitness.
The only way to know is for you to come in the door and check it out, David and
are
Steph.
you hitting on my husband?
Listen, if that's what it
He's married.
takes,
if I come in the door, am I
Come
gonna
on.
come out the?
come on down, sir. Don't know where he's going with it, but I cut him off before he got there.
Thank you, because
And you're gone, all
Oh,
right?
damn it! I
And
lost my
you're done.
membership already.
So
wants
it's,
to be
I mean, we would call it functional fitness, but even that word has a, the stigma to it. It has a general what you think it is. What we call militia hybrid training, which is MHT for short, is as many different types of sports and workout and training as you can apply to get you to your goals. And we kind of have an idea or like a framework that we start from, and then everybody has specificity, meaning if you want to train to be a Olympic lifter, if you want to train to go compete in strongman, if you're just trying to be healthy, if you just want to move, if you want to go snowboard, you want to protect your knees, whatever it looks like, everything can be adjusted according to you, which I love. I mean, it's actually the only gym that I've actually ever been to, though. So I'm biased to it.
really, you've never been to like a Gold's Gym or
Nope,
LA
never walked in Gold's Gym.
Fitness?
I had been to a recreational center gym
Like
that was like
YMCA.
connected to like a YMCA or something like that. But other than that, I didn't grow up working out. I didn't do it, and the only reason I came to the gym in the first place was because of my cousin. So
God, he doesn't know that story.
he doesn't
so
know
you're
the
gonna
story.
have to
He's like,
spill the
be
beans.
like,
Cousin.
cousin, tell me about it,
What up,
right?
cuz?
So,
it's actually a sad story.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I played sports growing up, but I never really got into working out. We played hockey in Florida, as silly as that sounds. The only ice in Florida is in Pensacola. You can go get it at the Pensacola Hockey Center. It's called the Bay Center now. But we played roller hockey instead. So it started off a YMCA sport. I started when I was like 10 years old.
You seem more like a
and-
roller derby kind of girl.
Yeah, honestly, have you ever seen roller derby? Because it sounds fantastic.
yeah,
so
it's
I would love for
brutal
some
for
roller
sure.
derby, but it's for the girls, not for the guys. So no, so we played roller hockey growing up, and roller hockey was like a club around here. So you didn't work out. It wasn't like basketball or football in the high schools. So played a lot of hockey, played sports with my friends in college, and then around I think I was maybe 23 years old. My cousin was a coach at this gym called CrossFit Fort Walton Beach, which was originally what Militia Fitness was. He started working out, lost a bunch of weight, enjoyed it. He would literally, this is first when Instagram started becoming big, and he would comment on all of my posts and just go CrossFit, 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 because he wanted me to come try it out. And I'm like, not a chance. You're crazy. There's no way I'm walking through the doors. You're going to kill me. And I still believe that most of them they are crazy.
Yeah.
And he ended up deploying. He came back and he got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. And soon after that, he ended up passing away. So I was like, I want to go to the gym just purely to honor him.
Wow.
And they actually opened up the location here in Destin called Detachment Santos after him. So I remember at the time, I did not work out at all. I actually played guitar at the opening of the gym. For the first workout, they had a competition there, and it's just wild to think one day I was going to end up running that location. I never would have guessed it in a million years.
And long hair.
Yeah,
too.
my hair was
I'm sure
literally
you wouldn't have believed that too.
curly long hair,
I gotta see this.
playing acoustic guitar.
Send us a picture. We're gonna pop it up.
I let it blow in the wind like this.
I'm a soccer player. Hockey player, my bad. I was saying the second lamest sport
just like
there is.
this.
I was a soccer player.
Whoa,
Look at
David,
that.
what sports did you play? Huh?
Basketball and
I also
jiu-jitsu
played
and
basketball.
boxing.
Hey, well, we do
Touche, all right?
jiu-jitsu now, so.
Yeah, it took me a lot
Welcome
of
to
time
a
to get
real
to
sport, guys.
jiu-jitsu. All right. So I
just kidding.
ended up trying the gym out in Fort Walton. One of Josh's best friends was one of the coaches there, so I went and tried it out, and it was rough. And then it kind of became this labor of love, where I was like, okay, this is actually kind of cool. And then I moved in with my buddy who coached there, and then started to go with him every single day. And then one day I was just like, man, it'd be cool to run a gym. And my partner now, Jordan, was like, you talking about any gym or a Militia Fitness? And I was like, I hear something right now.
That means Elias is
I was gonna say, is that
one of them. I was like, or one of ours. So
That's probably all.
They also are
The second
amazing
Elias
parents.
gets here, it's full.
I have two little ones running around. That's
your child
a
is
high percentage chance that that's my child. But
Paul? Or is it Paul?
I don't know. We can just ignore it and see what happens. Hello. That's got to be Zeke.
Do you need to handle this?
I don't know. Let's see. Come on.
Is
Push.
it locked?
It's definitely not Paul. He would be able to push
Hey,
the door.
you have to open the door. Hey, what are you doing? We're in a podcast right now.
No. Hey, you have to go back.
We're in a
out.
video right now. You can't be over here.
Remember, I told you.
Frankie,
you
put her on too.
Hey, what are you doing?
So who is this, real quick? Since now we could lead into the fact your parents.
This is
too.
Zeke. This is our youngest. He's 4 years old and obviously very curious as to what is happening right now.
What's up, Zeke?
Hey,
You need to go back out there, and you need to go get your movie. Okay, you got it.
yeah, dude.
Go ahead.
You understand how to do that?
ask
Remember, we've
Cruz.
been training for this moment.
Ask
Right.
Cruz. Ask Cruz where the potty is. Don't come back in here. See what happens.
Yeah. So,
Well,
So
fun
we've
fact,
been,
we are learning to wipe ourselves.
Wait, when you say we, do you mean
Wait, he's back.
oh, it's a we situation. It's not a
I
he.
think he just ran back to the door.
the we is
David, this is where we
There's
started.
gonna be a giant turd in the middle of the studio.
That won't happen.
I said I had to go potty, and nobody helped me.
So this is your fault.
he's gonna come with his pants around his ankles? I need you to wipe my butt.
He's just gonna come in backwards, just back in.
We are also working on that. in our household.
I'm ready.
When we say we, it definitely is a we process. It's not a he process.
I definitely
So,
would just give in because I'm like, this is way easier. I'll just do this. You
Yeah,
know? And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
You know they're clean, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing that forever.
Is he like at that point where he
He's
just rolls the
grabbing the
toilet
hand.
paper?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, there's a process.
Yep.
There
yeah,
is.
that's
Still
it.
somehow gets it on his fingertips after all that.
It's like, look,
That
man,
hasn't happened yet.
You're
I
gonna
don't
wash
think,
your hands
'cause
if
I
that's
think he
if
would
that's the
be-
case. So we're just washing, bro.
I can't wait to pick your brains about boys because
gosh.
we have no idea. I mean, we're in for
I would
A rude
say they're
awakening.
easy, but I have no other experience.
right.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
the best reference.
Yeah.
but-
You'd be great.
So yeah, to close that story out, I ended up going to Fort Walton, started working out, ended up loving it. It's the first time I ever saw results. Shocker. If you go to the gym and you're consistent, you get results.
Even
It's
if you
kinda-
eat like crap. Was your diet clean or were you
No,
still?
I was. Yeah, I mean, no, I ate whatever I wanted.
And you still
But
had
how
results.
old were you at the time?
23?
Yeah, 23 years old.
How old are you
Yeah.
today? 24.
24 years old. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
So
minus
are you
10
seeing
years.
a difference in age already in the sense that you can't really just eat McDonald's every day? Or are you still
So-
gifted?
I don't know. I wouldn't enjoy eating McDonald's anyways. So I made changes no matter what. But, it's still at this point I still have a very high metabolism. So
Yeah,
I can eat a
you're
lot.
terrible
Are you more of like an
person to talk to.
ectomorph?
Terrible person to talk to when it comes to
Are you
that.
ectomorph, where like your body eats your muscle? Like you have to eat 7 meals a day?
Oh,
Is
if
he
I
one of
don't
those,
no, if
or
I
is
don't eat, like I will definitely lean out
really
your body
quickly.
eats itself.
100%.
Must be
So you
nice.
have to just
Yeah.
See, I could
lift to
skip-
keep
I'm like,
I could
muscle
skip a
tone.
meal and I'm like, oh, I'm
yeah,
up 5
like
pounds.
my partner is the prime example of like, hey man, like let's go start eating again. And in which case I'm like, okay, down. Like I'll just make sure I'm getting enough. Like I have to fight to match her amount of protein she eats. And when she was training for shows, I definitely wasn't working to fight to match her protein. Like during show competing, you were like 180 grams. Yeah. Like 180 to 200 grams a day.
Were you
I don't
finding
think it was
yourself
that. I
having to
think it was.
force feed at that point, or were you hungry, like really
I was
wanting to
hungry.
eat?
Yeah. No. Like I do feel like for me, I'm like, dude, like eating is like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Like Strongman,
Yeah.
who is it that you filmed?
Eddie
when
Hall?
he was-
Brian Shaw.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I worked with
dude.
him a lot, and it was funny. We'd be in the kitchen, and he went over the whole story of how he started too. And to get to that point, you have to force yourself to where you are nauseously just like ready to throw up all the time. He eats somewhere between 3 pounds of
Yeah.
meat
Yeah.
per meal.
Oh my gosh.
How
He
much
just
rice?
is basically just cutting open like ground turkey or beef on it and just on a skillet.
Yeah.
He's like, this is dinner or this is lunch. And he's
Yep.
putting a bunch of rice in with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
That
like,
is
and
gnarly,
now
man.
I actually want it because I'm deadlifting 1,000 pounds.
That's
and
exactly
I'm
right.
6'8" at 438.
Nicest man.
Yeah,
you'll
but
ever
then
meet
if you
in
meet him,
your
he's like,
life.
"Hi, how are you?" And he's like,
so
met her at an expo. He's like, "This is your wife."
I'm like, whoa.
Meanwhile,
dude.
he's like, picks her up.
I'm
He's
like,
like, "You're so cute."
I'm holding his calf. I'm like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Like that's got to
Nice
feel like
guy.
just like the most gigantic human.
He's
Exactly.
gigantic and
Yeah.
the most gigantic human with the biggest heart. He's and his
Probably,
wife, and they have
literally.
kids. She was what? She was deadlifting. She was. You say
I mean,
actually?
it matches his body.
Yeah.
but,
So
you
if it
know,
Yeah.
is,
compared to everyone else,
Yeah.
like it's for
It's
sure.
interesting too because when I was telling you earlier, I did bikini competitions, and my girlfriend has an ectomorph body, and she would get 7 meals a day, and she'd call me crying.
figure.
No, she was bikini.
Oh,
Jamie.
I thought you
yeah.
were Christine.
Oh, Christine's different too, but our friend Jamie, and she'd call me just crying. I can't eat anymore, and I'm starving. I'm like tilapia and
But
asparagus
what's different
5
is
days,
she
5
loved
times.
jogging.
Yeah, I'm like 5 times a day eating tilapia and asparagus. I'm just
You're
like
like, "Don't call me about
dying."
food.
And I'm like, I'm calling her crying because I'm starving, and she's like, I just want to run. Like our coach would not let her run because
She was
every
skinny.
piece of
Because you
muscle
would-
she put
yeah.
on would just disappear. And meanwhile, I'm running an hour and a
40
half
minutes in the
every
morning,
day.
40 minutes at night
Yeah.
was your schedule.
I was doing like 3 marathons a week, and I'm like, get me off. And she's like, I want to run. So we
my
just had complete
goodness.
opposites.
She's got triple the leg workout, and you got triple the cardio.
Yeah. So it's just interesting the different body types. I'm sure you guys run into that a lot at the gym. And when people say they want to get fit, do you take all that
Or they
into
wanna get
consideration? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and do you work with a lot of fitness competitors? Is this something?
No, well, I've worked my fair share of women and men, like his brothers did them. But that is so interesting too, because I feel like it's a goal for a lot of people to do that, but not necessarily something they want to do like long term. So it's usually like a big group will get together and do it as like a team because that's way more fun than
Yeah. Way
suffering
better
together
than-
is way more fun than
It
like
is.
by
Do it by
yourself.
yourself. Good luck for
And
16
then
weeks.
it's
Seriously.
like, well, the next year we'll have like no one who wants to do it. So it's just kind of comes in waves. So it just depends. Like if I have somebody who wants to really do it, like at this last time I had a girl who like it was her goal. She was turning 40 and that's like what she wanted to do. So I like trained her by myself, but she also had a personality where she just got stuff done. Like
Yeah.
that was who she was. So it was almost like, I would say, I'm sure she had some ups and downs, but like she was such a great like athlete to coach because she just that was like we talk a lot about the why when we do shows because people come in for fitness, you want to feel good, look good, but show is a whole nother level. And so there's a lot of mindset that goes into it when we train our people.
You
for
should talk about
shows.
how you did your first show.
And that's
Why
actually
you did
really,
your first show.
and that's huge that you coach on that because a lot of coaches don't. They're like, let me get you ready for stage, and then you step off stage and you rebound.
Right.
And you're
So-
like 30 pounds heavier
Well,
in a
that-
week.
That's what
So
we
I think
saw
we
too.
actually figured it out.
Yeah.
that,
Well,
like,
when we first started to do shows, what we saw is like we did not want the culture of like the show is the goal.
Right.
Like, what do you want to get out of it? And ultimately, whether they say you win or lose up on there, who cares?
I want to put nationally qualified on my Instagram bio.
I did. It got me
Is
nothing.
what I,
It got me nothing. I'm like,
I mean, I was
Steph, did you just like flex on us? You're like
right.
nationally qualified. I did, but
just
it
need
didn't
top
get.
three
Yeah, no.
NPC show.
No
I
big
wanna
deal,
put it in my
okay.
bio,
Yeah,
please.
that's good.
But like you're
But-
gonna step off stage, and if the pinnacle is stage, well then what does that look like when you come off stage? And we're like, we don't want people to have to go through this dip and this crash. So like, what does it look like? And actually, how do we not make you suffer through this situation? What does it look like to be very optimal, but something that's not sustainable? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think my fitness journey started when I played sports, like growing up, soccer. And just like, and
Second best,
volleyball, okay, no big deal. So I was just used to like running,
like the
and
same
I didn't
ball
do
in both
weights
sports.
like at all. So in college was like the first time I ever weight trained, but really it was just like, a couple bicep curls here and there. I didn't know what I was doing. And then we got married, and obviously we were in the gym. And actually I shared this recently on my story because our partner, her name is Caitlin, her and her husband, we were really good friends with them. I mean, I guess over 10 years now. It's crazy.
The same guy who got me into the gym.
Who
his
got
best
us into the
friends,
gym.
who
Jordan
like-
and Caitlin?
No,
No,
somebody
Damon
different?
and Caitlin.
Damon and Caitlin. So they run the Fort Walton location. And we were friends. And at the time, we weren't running the gyms. We were just like working at the gyms, or the boys were. And then I remember we were out downtown, and we had to like find our way through the crowd. And I just like grab, you know how girls do, they like grab each other, and we're like, get me through the crowd. So I like grab her arm, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I just like felt her bicep, and I was like, oh, I want
Yeah.
that.
And previously she'd been like, I don't want to go to the gym.
I don't want to
like,
get bulky.
I don't,
That was like the
I don't want to go
It's
lift
hard
weights.
to get
Yeah.
bulky.
It's bulky is
It's
the
not
thing.
easy.
I'm like, look.
Don't eat ice cream and pizza every day while you're lifting. You don't get bulky.
And if I knew the ultimate secret to getting bulky, like I would be
There'd be a lot
180.
more jack dudes.
I'd be 185
was
pounds.
really-
Like I'd be like, I'll take the bulky.
So
Give me
she
your
really
bulky.
showed me like, okay, strong is beautiful, because she was beautiful, and I was like, okay, now I want to try this. So then like the next day, I think it was like the next day or something, we went and like worked out, and they remember the workout. I don't remember the workout. They said
Yeah.
I died. I don't remember the workout. I
was like,
clearly like blinked it
Cleans
out of
and
my
running, and she
like
just
memory.
like,
I don't even
yeah.
know. But apparently I was hooked, and I was like, okay, let's
said I died.
keep doing
Yeah.
this. So so then that's how I was in the gym. And then obviously our program evolved so much off of CrossFit to more of a hybrid style. So we've kind of been through it all, consistently working out all through my pregnancies too and postpartum. So my first show was after my son, who's 7.
Not the one that was in here, Cruz, the older
Yeah,
one.
the older one.
Yep.
He's 7, and I was like, okay, I want to get my body back. That's like what you hear.
Wait,
Really,
do that one more time.
No.
I need my body
Dude,
back.
like,
I wanna
it's
get my body
very
back.
challenging for women. You go through so
It
many
is. I mean,
changes.
Dude.
You know,
I am
Couldn't
so
believe it.
blessed that we didn't struggle with fertility or anything, and I was really thankful I was able to get pregnant so quickly. But I just didn't enjoy pregnancy. I know that's like so taboo to talk about. It was really mentally hard for me to like watch my body change.
Which I think it is for a
pregnancy?
lot of ladies.
Yeah, and so like mentally it was so huge. Physically, obviously, you're like not able to do the things that you're used to doing. So I had to like learn how to modify and adjust things in our program for pregnancy, and sometimes that was also mentally exhausting too. So
But I saw her have him. She had both of the kids natural.
yeah, and
So both of them in the water too.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Did
talk
we
to
just
you
become
about
best friends?
that.
Yes.
And your
the things.
first, you had your first.
I did.
How long were you in labor for?
this is a crazy story. I
wanna hear it. I wanna hear it
we
all.
had a friend.
By the way, if
who,
you're wondering, Frankie was in the room for the previous babies.
oh, I love that. So was
And
Zeke,
the one who was
or
just
Cruz, yeah.
same thing in our parents' house. So she's
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you
awesome.
obviously
She
did it
knows
a
all the
second
things.
time, so
Yeah.
it wasn't that traumatic.
Oh,
but
it was traumatic.
Okay, Steph,
I'm
this
just
is
kidding.
what I said. I was like,
first
when
of all-
I asked her, hey, so how do you think that went? She's like, not that bad. I was like, you weren't in the same room as I was in.
that's what we're finding a
Women
lot.
do
If
like,
God
us, we
couldn't
black out.
like
Yeah.
Yeah,
dust
sprinkle
them with
dust.
forgetful dust,
Dude,
and just go
crazy.
like,
It's such a really
oh my
I wanna hear
gosh.
about it.
I'm like,
we
Yeah.
just spoke
You
to a
would-
midwife who told us about a mom, and then we spoke to the mom. The midwife was like, she was doing this and this and this, and then you talk to the mom, and she's like, it was so perfect, like everything.
It
the
was
stories
amazing.
were opposite.
This is exactly what I thought it
And
was.
it's like, okay, if that's how she feels, let her think it was like it, I
Dude,
guess.
wild.
yeah, well, I
A
would.
midwife in town too. You guys,
Yeah.
because you're gonna end up having here.
Right here.
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear your story,
podcast
though, like you
table.
were saying.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm gonna be in front of the camera.
Dun, dun, dun,
We're gonna live stream. I'm gonna be like,
oh my gosh, no. No, you're not.
all right, we'll face that way.
Okay, deal.
But we,
tell us about it.
so yeah, okay, we, are a little naive to like how babies are born, I think. But our midwife
thought it was a
really,
story.
I think our midwife really set us up for like education wise, like, okay, this is normal, this is not normal, like, all the things. So
You had a midwife here.
I did.
Who was your
Her name's
midwife?
Cindy.
Oh, Cindy?
Oh, you were with Cindy.
You know Cindy?
Cindy was
I was
Susie's. Yeah, we
totally
do.
kidding.
Dembow, yeah.
Get
Cindy
out
was Susie.
of
They were partners.
town.
The one who delivered
Yeah.
Sunny
So wait.
was her partner.
Yeah, and Susie.
Susie.
Yes, that's who
So they
delivered.
So Cindy and Susie
Mine.
delivered number 2.
No
Oh,
way.
so
Yeah,
Susie
he's
delivered
delivering-
Sunny and is gonna deliver the next
Okay,
one.
she's
Dude.
amazing.
Yeah,
So
both of
Susie
them.
or Cindy? Which one?
they're
Both
both
of
amazing.
them.
Okay,
Susie's
cool.
not
Okay.
doing it anymore, I
Fantastic.
don't think.
Yeah.
So Cindy's
She's
great.
retired,
She's
but-
really great. She's retired.
But
yeah.
she came out
Okay.
but she probably would.
She would probably come out for mine too.
You seem to have something in your eye
So I got this fuzz.
when you're telling me.
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
they're amazing, and I always recommend them. Anytime any woman's trying to do it natural, I'm like, go to them.
Okay, so story.
Yeah, so we were at a friend's wedding in Birmingham, and I was 39 weeks pregnant, and they were like, you shouldn't go, but he was in the wedding, and I was like, well, we have to go. I'm not going to miss the
All
wedding.
of our best friends are going to be
and
there.
of course, it's my first,
be
so I'm like,
selfish.
no big deal. Like,
That's
I'm gonna go
exactly-
42 weeks, like they all do, or whatever. No, so we get there, we're walking
dance
around the
floor.
mall everywhere, like, and I'm just like, guys, my stomach's so hard. Oh my gosh, it's like, it's
And we're like, yeah, it
wow,
is.
wow, and we're like all around, and I'm like, didn't realize those are like Braxton Hicks contractions, and like, okay, labor's like
Yeah.
kind
Right
of starting.
there.
So then I probably overdid it. We stayed up way too late.
Yeah.
The food was like not that great on my stomach, and like we stayed at a friend's house.
I even
who
had a couple
just
drinks
baby,
that night,
too.
and I normally
Yeah, he
don't.
doesn't
So
drink.
I'm like, hey, you
So
need
I
to
drove
drive
us home.
home.
I drove us home. I
Like,
know.
You're like, you're fine. Just
Yeah.
keep driving.
Like,
And I'm huge.
we're staying at
I
a
mean, I
friend's
gained,
house,
like,
and I'm like, you should probably
45
drive.
pounds.
So.
Like I gained a lot of weight during pregnancy. I was like just big belly, everything, and
So that's a little over exaggerated.
I think I was about that big.
And you're tiny. I mean, you're fit. You're yoked, but
Oh,
you're
girl,
like a tiny person.
like we talked about it, the belly and the
Yeah,
booty,
yeah.
they grew.
You get the
know?
pregnant both.
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
hips.
Yeah.
They did.
Pregnant both. Okay, so
Anyway,
you drove
so
home.
we drove home, and then we were at our friend's house, and they just recently had a baby. Like probably was only a few months old, and we were staying in their guest bedroom, and literally 3 a.m. I wake up and my water broke. I literally remember just like hopping out of bed, and I was like, oh, my water broke, and it just like
went,
exploded everywhere. I
Are
saved
you-
the bed though,
are you
thank
sure?
God. I literally just
She's
like it was on the
like,
ground.
You did just
Pretty
pee yourself
sure.
because you're
But-
drunk at the time.
He was probably still a little tipsy.
You
I'm not gonna.
peed in the bed, didn't you,
No,
babe?
nothing will sober you like my water just broke.
Yeah, when something real happens, you're
I'm like,
okay,
I'm
we got
fine.
this.
So
Let's
then
go.
I'm like, okay, I know from all my training, okay, like that doesn't mean labor's gonna start. Your water broke and it's fine. It might take a little bit. So I get in the shower and I'm literally just like, I'm in Birmingham, and I'm like,
She was like, hey, call
have to-
Cindy. So I
so we
call and I
call
was
her.
like, hey, what's up? And she's like,
get on the
in the
road.
car now. And I was like, oh, not what I
so
expected
then
you to
I'm
say.
literally like
Should we drive once we
diapering
get
it
in the
up
car,
with like
or-
a towel, and we're just packing all our stuff, and we're like, thank God it was like 3 a.m. because Alex is just freaking. I don't even know how fast we're going, like hauling butt. And then labor really started hitting, and I started like getting like sick and
Sick,
Yeah.
like pukey, poopy.
all
Like,
of it,
both
all of it. And so we
ways.
stop at a gas station, and I'm waddling in with like a towel, and I'm like,
Towel diaper.
go to the bathroom, and I remember the lady was just like, is she okay?
And I was like, I'm going to take these paper towels.
We might have a baby in your bathroom. Is that going to be okay with you guys?
So
I'm going to take these paper
it's a
towels.
funny
Were
story
you nervous
now.
at all? Were you in pain?
I was in pain, like, yes, that's when the pain started. And then we got on the road, but I was really sick. And I think sitting for 5 hours, it was the worst possible thing I could have done. So when we got there to the center, because at the time it was the center, I think
There
it
was
was
a
like in the
birthing center
morning.
in Niceville. Yeah.
And she was like, I don't think he'd really descended like he should have been by now. Like, and I was already feeling like I had to
Actually, it's
actively
probably because
push.
you sat so
I
long.
know. That's
Yeah.
what I said.
and you
what
felt
she
like you had
said,
to
bro.
push. You felt the
Yeah.
Didn't hear
pressure.
her
Yeah,
say
I felt
that as
pressure.
often
So,
times.
I got to there, and they like did all their tricks trying to get me like more head down. But like I feel like I pushed for like 2 hours. Pushing was the worst for me. I know some women who are like, oh, I like took 2 pushes, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
She fought. So actually, in
you?
my experience, if
But
you
I
guys
was
want to hear
also
the actual thing that happened.
dehydrated. I was also dehydrated. I didn't eat well. So like I was not fueled. And so obviously it took all of that from that pregnancy and I like rolled it to the next one and I was like, hydration, make sure I'm eating, make sure I'm walking. And like those things way better.
I have so many things to say, but I'm
my
holding.
pregnancy, or like delivery the second time was way better. But anyway, so the cervix was still not fully like I guess dilated, like it was sort of
In the way.
covering his head some, and she was like, okay, well we can, I
Manipulate,
can just
move it.
on your next push, or you can
Keep going.
keep going. I'm like, move it. Like,
So they go in and like
She went
in there.
and moved
moved
it.
it, which honestly that felt good. I don't know why, but that felt good
'Cause it was-
compared to like
he was
what
probably
happening.
stuck. The pressure was probably
Maybe.
preventing.
Anyways,
something.
I screamed that baby out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did what they tell you not to do,
Yeah.
which is scream, and I'm
Yeah.
like, get this freaking thing out of me. And then like all the hormones release, and you're like, oh my god. I think I was more just like, thank God that's over. But and then you forget everything. Like the pain was just like,
You're like, wow, that was beautiful.
that was easy.
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you do it again and you're like, wait a second, it all came
Yeah.
back to me.
Yeah, the first time I had this contraction, the second pregnancy, I was like, oh,
I remember.
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. So
That's why I'm like,
That's
I
what
don't
really
know if we
happened.
want a third.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Then
I
was
mean
your
all of that
second
was
one?
definitely
Did
the
Second
Zeke
one
just like
was
fly out?
I still struggled with
Yeah,
pushing with
so
him,
the-
but it wasn't as
Yeah.
the difference was because we didn't have to do the car and
was
we
able
weren't
to
driving
walk
back.
and-
It was the night before, I think it was like a Sunday.
I don't know
Because we had class the next day and I coached the 5 a.m. class. So I was like texting the team. I was like, hey guys, like we're having a baby tonight. Like this thing is going
I think
down. It's
I put
happening.
Cruz to bed. It like I remember it starting then, and then it started just rapidly like progressing because like the more you can relax and be in your
Yeah.
environment, then like faster labor can like
Yeah,
But
so she went like sleep, and then I would like try and rub her back. She would go to the bathroom. She would go like up and down contractions, but she was able to kind of like find whatever place she could be in. I can't remember if it was first pregnancy or second pregnancy, but I knew it was like, if she doesn't have energy, she can't do this. That's what I wanted to say. So I was
Oh,
feeding
that
her
was the-
grapes, and
that
she's
was
like,
the first-
get out of my face.
That was the
Get
first-
that corn out of my face. And I was like, I just know you need energy right now.
That was the first time.
Just
Yeah.
making sure. But she would go through pushes. And Cindy is like very like this. She
Interested
does
about his
not spike
perspective.
at all. And she's just like, she would be like, okay. And I'm like,
Alex is like trying to look to her for reassurance.
so
and
good,
stuff,
okay,
like,
bad,
what's
okay.
going on?
Like, at what point are you like, hospital? Like, we need to go. Like,
Was
she's
that
not, she
ever
doesn't
a
have
thought
energy.
in
Like,
your
for
mind?
me,
Not for me.
Like, we might have
I
to
didn't
go?
know. What I
No.
knew is I'm like, I know she needs energy. And I'm like, if she's depleted, then there's no, like, you don't just get more energy. So I'm like, trying to give her a grape here and there.
Well, they're
Sliding
looking,
food in her
amazing. I
mouth
mean,
while she's not
they're,
looking to-
they're tracking baby's
yeah.
heart rate, my
They
heart rate.
know that-
They're like watching
They
us,
know
so,
what's
like,
happening. I don't know what's happening.
You're
Yeah,
like, you just
Alex
poke
is
your
just,
head
like,
between them,
wondering-
like, are we good down here?
Yeah,
How
so
long were you
like
in labor
I'm just
for?
cheering her on. That's pretty much what I'm doing.
I went
Being
to
a
labor
coach.
at 3 a.m. I had him at noon.
Okay, so it's fast.
I guess that's fast.
For your first?
For the first. The second one,
How long
I
did you
labored all through
So
night,
fast,
so it
9
started like
hours.
11.
9-hour workout?
And then I had him at 8 in the morning.
Easy.
So that was like all night.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Frankie,
She did it in
Alex
9.
was in labor with Frankie for like 26 hours.
Oh my gosh.
But they induced her, they epidural. I
That
mean,
was the first before she went.
she-
crunchy.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
but
I
I
mean,
think because they
Crunch.
induced her.
yeah, I hear that can slow things down
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Obviously, I don't only have the experience of at home and natural, so I don't know anything
Yeah.
experiential wise from like hospitals. I just know from our friends who have had it that
Yeah.
normally when they get there, it slows down because it's just a change of scenery and all
Yep.
of that.
Yeah.
So. I mean,
Less
I was
natural.
thankful being at home was so nice. You're just
You're
in
just
your
in your
element.
space.
Like,
Yep.
I honestly thought I was about to have him before they even got there because I was so just comfortable. I was almost too comfortable. I was like, I gotta get up so this baby will come down because I was like
Yeah.
just managing.
You knew, but you knew what
But
to
yeah,
do.
yeah, it was really great.
I wonder. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what the
For
pain
me,
is going to be like.
contractions were very manageable because period, like okay,
Right.
you have period cramps, like it was really similar to that for me. And then they also have like a peak, and so it's like you can ride the wave a little bit, and then you're like, okay, it's going down. Whereas like pushing, it's just a whole different sensation, and that
Burning.
hurt.
And I'll say one thing is that we
Fire.
just tried to manage the things we knew she could handle, meaning like you need to make sure you're stretching and like kind of like working some pelvic floor work to get yourself
Did that help?
prepared. And
well,
they're the
know,
things you
I
can try to
think-
handle.
I was gonna say, I think
You
the
can't
things
do
like I would
anything
move
else.
forward for if I had another pregnancy and labor and everything.
Sounds like
I
the
would
same
definitely
feat.
do like more I don't know how you say that word.
Perineum.
Stretching, you know, like where you're actually stretching that. And I would probably do a lot more towards the end of my pregnancy, not necessarily like strengthening my pelvic floor, because that's what's the point?
Yeah.
Lengthening it. So doing a lot more stretches. Like, I don't think I did enough my second.
You just wanted to tone,
pregnancy.
not bulk.
Correct. Tone.
Yeah.
She wanted to tone.
Tone the taint.
Tone.
Tone the taint, not stretch the taint.
Lengthen,
Not
she
rip
said.
the taint.
It's true. You don't want
Oh,
to.
well, I did tear both of them.
Did
but
you?
It wasn't bad, and they stitched.
Yeah.
So, like,
And you don't
they're
have
able
any
to do that, too.
Pain meds when they're stitching, right?
Is it just so much
they
pain
numb
that
it.
you don't feel it?
You did. They
did.
numb you.
They numbed me, yeah.
That hurts too.
I keep looking for my
The
phone, but it
needle,
doesn't
yeah.
exist.
Okay, real talk.
Like
Okay.
I was gonna showing you a picture.
Airplay?
No.
You guys can't
I was
talk.
saying, should we have our own
picture.
podcast?
They're a little
You guys, if
uncomfortable,
you talk
honestly.
while we talk, it's gonna. The whole podcast is just gonna be all these voices.
Well,
no one's gonna hear anything.
I forget that I'm on a podcast right now. I
need
thought
to
we were
put
just
your
having a
head-
conversation.
You need to put
so-
your headphones on
Me?
so that you know if you're
This guy.
interrupting.
I'm just kidding.
Then you know if
Oh, we're bringing the headphones out. No.
If you so decide, okay.
Put her headphones on.
Bam, bam, bam. Da-da,
Put her
da-da.
headphones on.
Do you? Did you guys keep your placenta?
I did.
Did you eat it
Okay, I ate my first.
Like,
raw, or
on
did
the
you like
spot?
encapsulate? I want you
You
to.
just like a raw liver. You just
He
get a
drank my
bite off
breast
the
milk.
edge.
I didn't even drink my breast milk.
Come on, I was just trying to.
But
gain the
yeah, I
supplements,
encapsulated it.
Mm-hmm.
The second pregnancy, I didn't. I put it in a plant. The plant died. Don't recommend.
Did we not?
No, we didn't. I don't think we ended up paying for it or something. But I was trying
Did
to
you water the
figure out.
plant?
I think
Plant is still buried.
it's in the ground.
It is in the ground.
Yeah. Did you water the
No,
plant?
we did not. First of all, we don't have very
moved like
green.
three
Only
times.
plants need water and sunlight.
We don't do. We
Not just placentas.
We would like to believe we have green thumbs, but we do not have green
placenta
thumbs.
thumbs.
We have placenta thumbs.
It was great in theory, you know. So, but
Would you eat it again?
I think I might.
Did
so
you notice
I
a difference?
think,
What a weird
yeah,
question.
I feel
Do you take
like
creatine?
No, I don't, but I did. I have.
Do you notice a
No, I
difference?
don't, but I did at half.
Okay, that's
I
like
noticed
eating
it.
your placenta.
Well, I noticed I noticed a difference on
You eat red
creatine.
steak.
I feel way less sore when I'm on
You do?
creatine.
I feel more bloated.
Really?
Yeah,
So
like
I don't get
swells
that.
me. A meatball.
Well, anyway, so I feel like looking back, I probably had more postpartum depression symptoms with my second, and I didn't have placenta. So I don't know if it's just second child and managing two kids, or if like the extra hormone from the placenta didn't, you know.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know.
I do.
I'm not
I
sure
do
there's-
believe in it. Like I would say, encapsulating it and having her take it, like for the energy they say, or like I think it's
healing.
fantastic.
At
Yeah.
one point, were you ever thinking like I'm eating myself? Because that's what I think. I'd love to encapsulate it and eat it, but I'm not a good pill taker. Even my
Oh,
prenatals, I'm like,
really?
I'll do like a
Yeah.
cleanse and just pour 10 giant pills and just like
Yeah.
one sip, and she just sits there and starts gagging. I'm like,
I'm like one at a time. I could never be a pill popper. So I'm wondering if I'm thinking about the idea that it's my organ that I'm eating. Can I,
I don't know.
It?
I take desiccated liver, so I just
What's desiccated?
like it's cow liver and it's already like in that form, so it's
but
the
it's
same
not
thing.
Dehydrated.
herself. She's in her
It's
mind about it.
About
being
that
herself.
being yourself. I
Do
don't
you
know.
ever, do you ever bite your nails, or
No,
Eat a
remember this?
booger?
No, I mean, I'm sure I have. I'm sure I
it's eating
have.
yourself technically?
Yeah, I don't
This
think I thought of it like
conversation has
that.
taken
Yeah.
a turn.
It is very interesting.
So that's how you
where
got
we're
into
leading at
fitness.
right now.
This
Yeah, so
conversation
anyways,
has
so then
taken
after my
a
first
turn.
baby, I was like, I want to get my body back. Which
This is how podcasts work, though. Somehow you
Yeah,
just
That's what I
made
was
a
going to show you the
full-
picture of.
What's it called, the
6
weave?
months pregnant and then 6
The
months
weave.
postpartum was like
Yeah.
just crazy.
Which I've never taken my body to that level, so it was really cool to see. And I had the biggest nursing boobs ever on stage. I was like, holy crap! Why did they let me go on stage? Like,
They're not like, excuse me, ma'am, those honkers. No,
I was
no,
like,
thank you.
No, but I mean, like you guys. Like, I was
place.
just like, oh my god, looking back. But anyways,
Did you gain more weight with the first or second child?
I gained the same amount. They were both 8'6".
You gained the same amount of weight too.
Yeah, and they were both 8'6".
When you say 8'6",
Wow.
you're
I was
talking
about
the
40
baby
pounds,
weight?
6
The baby
ounces.
weight was 8
We said
pounds.
both.
No,
We're still talking about
they were
boobs.
both 8 pounds 6 ounces, and then I was
I don't-
gained
One's
about
8,
40
one's
pounds.
6. I don't know. I don't know how we're rating these, but
It's hard.
It is,
sometimes.
but also
Next question.
whenever then I did a few other shows, and then I got my pro card, and I was like, well, I want to do a pro show. So then I was like, we're not having a baby until I do a pro show. You know, like I'm trying to win money. So then we went and I did my pro show, and then we got pregnant afterwards. So I was my leanest then. So I think like I'm not sure I necessarily
True.
gained the same amount of weight. It was technically, but I was also 10 pounds 15 pounds
Under.
lighter than I was when I got pregnant with my first.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair, yeah.
But yeah,
8
it was a fun
pounds.
ride. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but
Yeah.
it's just very mental.
Yeah, it is.
mental.
But just to go back to so you guys work with your clients on a post-show regimen. You consider their prep to be.
So yeah, we do 12 weeks out. We put them on our Iron Up program. So when we mentioned we're a hybrid style, we have 4 different like pathways people can choose, and then we kind of adjust based off that. So Iron Up's building lean muscle mass, getting stronger. So I put them on that, and then they do a bunch of accessories for based off their goal. Like I recently trained some bikini girls, which was different than figure, which is what I did, and so the accessories were a little bit different. And then it's really big about food. So
You say accessories, are those like
yeah, like
supplements?
extra.
Yeah.
No, sorry, like
Outside
extra.
of the
Outside of
just
the
program
program,
that
like
you do
more
for the
glutes,
hour,
more
more glutes.
shoulder, more lat, like
Anabolic,
that type of
Winstrol,
thing. Yeah.
Trembolone.
So we,
Anna Varro, this is the second time I've heard that in the last 3 days.
I know someone else said that too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Welcome to bikini.
we
coming
actually
up.
did They were
Drug-free organizations. Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
your girls do
natural
well. They come on
Yeah,
with
they
their
do.
muscle fine,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
possible, right?
It
You just
is.
have to do a little of the
It
work.
is.
Yeah, it is.
Man, if I show you
it's-
pictures of people that we've had,
diet's
It's huge.
oh my
Diet's
gosh, like
huge.
even my partner Jordan, he's been, I mean, probably 3-4 different body types because he's trained for different things. We've competed
Yeah.
in strongman before, and he's gotten up to 200s. He's cut back down, competed in jiu-jitsu, super lean, and it's just if you kind of
eat
set your
how
mind to
you-
it,
yeah.
you can eat to get that. And we have a gal who's at the gym right now who has
She made an amazing transformation.
amazing.
It's insane.
Just
All
started
through food.
with consistency. Like she's really great about just tracking like days of the gym that I want to hit in a month. And then that started with 1 nutrition consultation with her and ended up in 2. And like we literally go back and we don't even recognize this
she's
person that she
completely
was
changed. And she's done a few
beforehand.
shows too.
Yeah.
So that like helped her too with food.
Yeah.
I mean, so then we've kind of figured out like when I first started shows like 7 years ago, we just ate chicken and rice and like
Which
you
is
know.
like that's like the
typical.
thing.
Staple of
Yeah.
life.
This
like,
last
this is it.
time, last few years, we have trained our girls to be more animal based. So it's more like red
Yeah.
meat and fruit, and they got crazy results
And sustained
it.
Didn't
and
feel
that
like
was
they
the
have to
biggest
back
thing
off.
is like the chicken and rice. It's like you get tired of it and you're not satiated. So then like you just go back to eating all your crap before, and then you gain all your weight back.
Yep.
But like they were able to keep it, and even if they didn't really track, like they were still satiated and still eat the same. So I'm like, how that's crazy.
Are they
Like
just
fruit.
doing red meat
So
and
we-
fruit? Like basically
Just
carnivore
red meat
style?
and fruit, carnivore style.
Does it mess with
Wow.
their stomachs at all to start?
So only like a couple people it did
Yeah.
based off of
Diarrhea the first like 2
They
weeks.
didn't know, not that, because I did that. I
The
did
fruit-
carnivore, and that's what
yeah.
happened to me.
When you have the
Pretty
fruit in
when
When
there,
you
it
have
you
helps.
just
just carnivore,
It's like pebbles
meat.
and
Do you-
spray,
yeah.
and then you're
Do you-
normal
But the
after, like, 2
fruit is
weeks.
good.
We're talking
Do you
about cereal,
incorporate fruit
Fruity
meal or
Pebbles, and
fruit
then
meals, cheat
Cocoa
meals
spray.
We didn't.
for 16 weeks. You have like no
It was
cheat
12
meals
weeks,
for
yeah.
12 weeks.
So-
For that group, we didn't.
Yeah, what we like to do is like, well, one, they're buying into the process. So, early on, like in this like coach, which we had to learn, we've been in the business now for 8 or 9 years, but like we've had to learn, what do you want to get out of this? And my job
Well, that's
is
where it
to
goes back to
help
mindset.
you to go, like you're an adult and you get to make decisions. I don't have to like drag you along with it. So, as things, would progress forward, if, we would get to reattach and go like, hey, what's the goal? Cool. Like, do you want to be able to give your best possible product on stage? We want them to be able to get up and go, I've given everything that I have. And I also don't want you to think, or want them to think like, oh man, I'm having to die to myself to do this. It's like, is it worth it then? Like, if it is, cool, let's do it. But if it's not, then how can we get to the best possible thing that you're willing to step on stage and give your best product without going, it has to be the death of my everyday, because that's not just going to be hard, but it's going to be hard to come off of that and figure out what normal life looks like. So we try to find this happy balance
we
for
do
them.
macros and calorie counting, so
Oh, good.
Yeah.
they stay within that. But the meat and the fruit is really, none of them felt, and like yogurt and stuff, none of them felt like they were like dying.
The fruit
So-
is gold.
I know.
God, I would
Yeah.
have loved to have a piece of fruit.
Sugar.
Yeah.
An apple.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, would have been candy.
Well, that's what we like hope for is like you can satiate enough with red meat and fruit and, not be so nitpicky on certain things. It's like if we're getting into it and you got extra weight that you're hanging on to, well, cool, let's make an adjustment, right? But to like go, okay, kill everything you're doing and you only get turkey or chicken and rice and broccoli. good luck.
Yeah. She doesn't eat red meat, so she wouldn't be able to do that.
You eat no red meat?
Not
You just eat
really.
chicken?
I just started eating more chicken. I was vegan when I
and
met
fish.
David.
When I started making her eat fillets with me at steakhouses.
The things I craved were fillets and fish, and so I would eat fillet. I started working in a seafood place, started incorporating fish back, and then started eating meat with David. And then
she got rid of it, but
then
now,
I competed,
now
and I ate
she's
a lot of meat. And
also back in the...
Tired of it.
I was over it. It
I
was
get
so
tired
much
of
meat.
chicken.
Yeah.
But beef, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I
But
just
she
don't
got
tired
into
of it.
just
And then I
listening
did
to her
keto.
body. So if I'm eating a steak, she's like, I want some steak now.
If I want it, like the other night, his mom
Yeah.
made the incredible meal, and it was steak, and it was just like bloody and delicious, and I wanted it, so I ate it.
Yeah.
And then I was good. Like
Yeah.
2 pieces, and I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
But
you.
if I want it, I'll eat it. And this morning I made eggs.
She was
I couldn't eat them.
wanting to throw up.
Oh, I thought you were saying they were so good. I was-
Well,
That's
pregnancy
the
is
pregnant
so
thing.
different.
It was the cooked eggs that had a little scent. So she's in the car
God, yeah.
holding it. And she just has. I'm like, the longer you hold it, the longer it's gonna stink up
I
this
took
car.
them in the car. I thought maybe if I get out of the house, I'll want them. Like I need to just get out of this.
No, instead Frankie's in the backseat going, "What's that smell?" and then it doubles down her thought of like, "It does smell, right?"
Oh,
It's
that's
I'm like, maybe it's not. Maybe
then they
they're
asked
bad.
me, I'm like, "It smells like eggs. Eat them or
I
just
couldn't eat
toss
them.
them."
I
out."
can't-
Have you ever had like a fresh egg?
Yeah, they are fresh
They're
eggs.
literally from
Yeah.
farmer down the street.
I literally
so
had them on a
funny.
plate on the whole
It's just the
drive
pregnancy brain
over here, and I'm like,
playing
I
tricks on
cannot
her.
eat them, but I know I need it. Like I know I need protein. I know I need iron. Like
Protein
I'm
was
trying to.
hard when I was pregnant. Yeah.
It's hard, right?
We
So I've
did.
been
We used to do
incorporating
turkey
protein
burgers
shakes.
every day,
good.
and then when she after cruise, she's like, "I'll never eat a turkey burger
Right?
ever
no,
in
it was
my
while
life."
I was pregnant with him. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like,
Well,
"Get
I'm
it out of my
I'm
face."
so simple. I eat the same thing every day.
He does. He's
Same
so
time.
easy.
I'm like, I'll eat
Yeah.
turkey meat.
But when you're
burger every
pregnant,
day.
it's
When
different.
it is, your hormones are so.
It's like in your throat. You're like,
Oh God, I couldn't even touch
We can't.
like raw meat.
Not allowed to do that.
I
He had
don't
to
know.
cook everything. I was like, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah.
But I would throw up like my prenatal
Yeah.
morning and afternoon. It would never fail.
Did you have any morning sickness?
I never threw up, but I
Dinner
did. I was
evening.
nauseous.
Sick,
I had
yeah.
I had night sickness when I'd lie down in
Oh.
bed, but I wouldn't get sick enough. Sometimes I would just wake up. You know.
Oh, it's that one.
We thought it was one of the children.
It is one of the children.
One of the children.
It's the biggest kid that there is.
Hey, Bolly! Because we were doing everything known to try and like curb her
Ew,
sickness. So,
I did like
fresh ginger,
fermented garlic. or
fermented
something.
garlic.
I was like,
You only do that once, and you're
Oh,
like, I'm
God,
not.
no,
Because you
I'll
taste
never
it for
do it
days.
again.
yeah.
It was so healthy.
I ended up stopping my prenatal, and I got so sick off of them that they were like, just take the things individually, like the omega, all the things individually. I don't know what was in
So
the
now you had to
prenatal.
take 50 pills instead of like just
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Steph was like 5
Better
hours
than
later. I
getting
can't
sick.
take
I know.
this.
No, I literally have a
I
handful
won't.
now. I
At
wasn't,
night, she's still
Yeah.
trying.
I wasn't gonna do prenatals.
You're still taking your
I was
prenatals?
like,
I can't take
breakfast.
it.
I was like, my
I
body will
can't.
tell me what I need. And then my first trimester, my hair was falling out.
No
and I thought,
way.
maybe I should take some
No
supplementation.
way. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But I had also I don't know, my body went into a stress mode and I got shingles and I thought I was having I don't know,
This is
something.
before she knew she was pregnant.
But I was pregnant and my body was like stressed trying to
Tell
I don't
her.
know, tell me it was pregnant
out
and
or
I wasn't
something?
chilling out.
Wow.
I had no
Dang.
chill. And so then
Zero chill going
yeah,
on.
and they went to do an
I have
X-ray.
a pretty good reason why you had shingles, but I won't blast anybody on the
They went to do.
podcast.
I thought something was wrong with my spine. I'm like, my whole body's breaking in half, and they were like, "Well, we'll do an X-ray. Is there any chance you could be pregnant?" And I'm like, I wanted to say yes, but I said no. I was like, no.
David.
They did blood work and they never confirmed I was freaking
What?
pregnant. Yeah. Getting X-rays. I'm like, yeah, Superman.
It's all good. I got a tattoo when I was pregnant. I didn't even know I was pregnant, so that's
Yeah.
just
You don't know.
yeah.
Baby comes out with a matching tattoo.
Alex's his sister was pregnant with Frankie, like 5 months pregnant before she found out.
What?
We were tubing on the lake. This girl was having a great
Shots of
time.
tequila. And look at her. She's like perfect.
We were doing shot skis. Yeah, and she's like the best kid in the whole world.
It was funny too, their story where mom's like, just take a test. She's like, I'm just fat, Mom. She was like mad at
Oh,
her.
I was
She'd
literally
been doing
okay.
shakes and like trying to like get her weight down, and she got that mask. You know how some women get the.
Like,
Yeah.
freckly,
The,
and
dark.
so,
yeah.
and her mom his mom looked at her and was like, "You need to take a test." She's like, "I'm not pregnant. I'm just fat."
They like
took
had
a
this
test.
tiff, and then finally she's like, yep, pregnant.
She thought she took
Got
6
him.
more and was like,
Wow.
"Whoa, I'm pregnant."
Dang.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Moms
wow.
just know sometimes,
Yeah.
man. You should just
Yeah.
listen to
Yeah,
moms.
moms
I know.
Yeah. How did
Speaking
we?
of, her mom
my mom
literally,
knew.
when she got shingles and stuff, she's like, well, maybe you're pregnant. And she's like, Mom, I'm not pregnant.
I was pregnant.
Same
Stop acting like you know everything, Mom.
Yeah, what are you, a
That's
mom?
wild.
Well, my mom's she's a nurse, and so she
Yeah.
knows me.
Yeah.
I hate it, but she
Which is
knows
also-
me.
Which is also a negative when you're a
But
nurse.
here I am, like my whole
You're going to die. Every side effect is real.
my whole family's in the medical industry.
MD.
I'm not a nurse,
They're
but I also am like
attorneys,
that.
and
you?
I'm
But
the
you-
black sheep.
you won't
Are you
have
gonna
a
let me
baby at
talk?
home.
Are you gonna talk the
Who's
entire
talking
time?
right
My
now? Oh,
God,
hey.
you're gonna.
I'm gonna talk now.
You have to edit this. Just know when you go back and say,
Do you see the way she talks to me?
How do you live life, David?
She just leaves her phone on a podcast table like we're not doing a show.
David, blink
Yeah.
twice if you're in trouble.
"Oh, now you have
One
a
at a
rule."
time.
Anyway, my mom. So telling her we want to do a home birth, she's like,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
friends-
Oh, my gosh,
We had
my
friends who did a
parents?
free birth. Nobody.
Oh God, yeah.
You're
I don't.
in.
I was
Your
so
mom is going
ballsy.
to shit her pants.
Wild
Yeah.
birth.
Like,
So-
she's gonna park her
Yeah.
car outside your house just in case.
Yeah.
She's like, everyone's on standby.
Yeah. That's
right.
Steph needs you. I'm sending you
I was
in.
even
You kick the
texting,
door
like,
down.
the dad,
We've
like,
got
will you pull me
doctors
over?
around the street.
Yeah.
Couple across the street are
That's
pretty paranoid and freaked out.
You're like,
but then
"Do-
the other ones
don't
are like,
call us."
that's going to be great.
Yeah.
Come on.
these two were like, "Don't call me. It's a liability." This doctor's
Wow.
like, "Hey, call me. I'll come hold up your placenta if you have an emergency, and
Well,
I'll
they've
get you
had-
to the emergency
They
room."
have 5 kids, and
They
he's
do.
delivered them all, and he's part of the
cool.
military. So
He's-
he's like, if something goes wrong, call me. I'm there.
Oh,
He's
cool.
military medic. He's like, "I did OB
Yeah.
training," so I was like, "Okay."
My
yeah.
partner would joke like, "Hey,
He's like, I'll deliver him.
I'll
And I'm
deliver
just
him.
Like, okay,
She was
that's
like-
where I draw the line. Okay.
You're like, I'm not letting your
Love ya.
friend down there.
like, what?"
If my buddy said that, I'd be like, you are not going to do that.
I'm like literally like, yeah. I think my mom also freaked out when I
Did
was
she?
like, I'm gonna give. Well, one, they freaked out when I was working out. That was huge and taboo.
Yes. Yeah.
Two, that I was like, I'm gonna go to a
Oh,
nursing center
yeah.
and do this. Well, I am terrified of needles that like going into my spine. So that's literally the only reason why I gave natural birth. Like, I just don't. I'm just so scared that I'm gonna get paralyzed or something
Dude,
crazy.
not at no
the
point
fear
though.
of that
It's not your
made me
spine.
like.
Guillain-Barré, anything could kick in and you lose feelings in your legs.
Did you think at one
scary.
point though, like, I need an epidural? At this
No,
point?
like that's what I mean.
It's
At
not an
no point did
option.
she look at me and go like,
I can't do
what? Like she like.
You kind of can't go there. I don't think you can go
about
there.
you? Did you
yeah,
need
you
one?
just
I
have to
need
go. Like,
I mean, I remember
what
like
my
being
mind
in the
is.
battle
There's
with. I mean,
no
I wasn't.
other-
I was watching the battle happening, but like, I look back and I'm like, dude, it just is freaking crazy that women can go through that. I mean, I was just trying to like be like next to her and root her on, but there's nothing I can do.
Did
Like,
you watch the boys come out?
yeah,
You
I
did
was
see- you
holding
stayed-
her behind her for one.
that's crazy.
In the water?
I
Were
was
you in the
cruising.
water?
That's the one where I was like, get this baby out of me. He's like pulling my legs. I'm just
And
trying
then
my hardest. to
The
get this
second
baby out.
one, I think
No,
she was
I
in the
didn't.
water
Yeah, and I
by
caught
herself. You were down this way, right?
Yeah.
That's right. And he
like,
went
shot
that
out.
way, and she turned and grabbed him. And I remember Cruz and I, because Cruz was 2, 3,
or almost 3. I
yeah,
don't know.
He
was
was
like
chill?
right there.
He was,
and
like,
he was
in the
just,
water with
he
us.
was like blood, blood. He blood, because he pulled him up, and obviously it's like blood all over. He's like blood.
And then he sees like the floating chunks. And my oldest is like,
Chunks of-
does not know. I already got that out. Okay.
Did you poop in
They
the water?
scoop it?
I don't think so.
They scoop
yeah.
it out real
yeah.
quick.
No,
If
they
so,
never did.
they didn't let me
Yeah.
know. Okay, so
Yeah.
but he does not like being dirty,
Blood.
so he
Blood.
was like seeing things like, oh,
That's funny.
He got in the he got in the water though.
but he did. I know.
Yeah.
So I said, but
and then
he's
he
like my
regretted
clean.
it right away.
Yeah,
He's like,
he had no idea. He had no idea what was
Well,
going
then you
on.
have to birth the placenta.
That's easy.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it kind of feels it's weird, but
you're
it's
pushing on a
easy.
clot.
Oh yeah, it's weird.
I bet it's satisfying.
It's just
It's like you're pushing on a clock.
Like honestly, you kind of forget that you have to do that.
Who doesn't?
You know,
You
it's
know?
like,
Yep.
it just falls out at
Yeah.
that point.
So you guys have
I'm
taken,
just like considering the word clot in my head right now.
You know when you're passing a clot out of your butt?
This we didn't talk
all
about
we know.
we didn't talk about any of this on the phone, by the way. This is not where our conversation
Oh, you guys
went.
didn't have clot placenta?
We didn't have clot
water?
placenta poop water talk.
just know I'm sweating.
I do now. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so hot.
You know what happened is Steph was like, "This is gold. We need to talk about pregnancy. Let's get deeper into this, okay? Let's figure out where this goes, all right?
Yeah.
How did we get here? What were we talking
know.
about? You were
My shows.
pregnant.
It
You had a
started with
show.
toning.
Yeah.
Tone.
But I want to loop it.
I want to be
Okay.
toned.
I gotta
Tie
weave.
us in.
Yeah.
Stitch it back together.
Yeah. Sew us up.
So because you guys have this mindset, you've taken this mindset into also raising your children. You guys do homeschooling. I
Yeah.
want to talk about that too, because I know it has a stigma, or at least it used to.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you guys decided to homeschool? And if so, is it easier or harder? Give us all the details on homeschooling.
You want me to go first or you go first?
Well, I think
You go first.
I was just saying, yeah, that makes
I'll cool off over here. We all talk about.
so when we partnered with our partners in the gym and we like now own a small business, we did that because we wanted to be together, raising a family together. And so like us working separate jobs, like that wasn't gonna help us like spend more time together and raise our kids together and like all that. So that was like the first step. And then like I really didn't think about, I think I did think about school. I was a teacher for 1 year and I worked in social work and everything. I just knew like I always wanted to homeschool. I think that was just always a goal for me. Because I just, no, I went to public school.
No, we thought homeschool people were kind of weird.
We did growing up, but then
it's switched now.
It has all
different
switched.
now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so intriguing. I literally think the biggest reason we want to homeschool is just to instill our values into our kids. So, you know, at school they spend all day there, and obviously some families have to do that. But I really just see the value in spending our time with them and raising them.
We really do believe that the quantity that we'll have is also going to bring the quality of the time that we're going to have together. It's like sometimes it's super great. We're going to learn business stuff. We're going to be able to spend a lot of time
like
together.
How she can come and like help you guys.
That's
like, that's
right.
so
It's
fun.
like-
I wish I did that in school.
So like eventually he'll be alongside learning how to coach people in fitness and create adjustments and create energy and conversation and communication, which he already does. And then some days you're just going to learn to be bored, bro. You're just going to be with us. And we get schoolwork done in
well, I will say it's like,
time,
30 minutes long for his age right now. It's not like my goal is to teach him to read. He's so good at math. We incorporate that like in our day to day. I've started when he was like 3, and then I like backed off because I was like, holy crap, I'm so overwhelmed. And I think that's the biggest thing I'm learning with homeschool is there's so many different opinions out there, just like everything else. Like the way you're going to do it is different the way I'm going to do it. And you just fit it into your lifestyle. And we're so busy, our schedule's weird at the gym that we just fit it into our day. And that's what I love, just the flexibility of it, because I know some moms who have to have that regimen. That's just how their brains are wired, but we are just very go with the flow people. So the fact that we can do school at the park, or he does math at the gym, and then we come home, then we, math and writing at the gym, then we come home and do reading together and like
but school is still all day.
But
if you think about it, when you say like, there's gonna be times where you're just bored sitting there. Like if they were in school, some of them are bored the whole day. That 8-hour day is the bored part.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I was not a great student. I figured out time to just buy time. I was there to hang with my friends.
Yeah.
Well, I was too. Yeah.
I probably cheated my way through a lot of school.
Well, and I think that's a lot. Like they're like, well, I want them to socialize, and like, I'm not worried about that. Our situation's different.
Does he seem like he has an issue socializing?
No, your kids are
He basically probably at 16 can run the gym. He's gonna know like people skills on a different level. He already knows everyone's names at the gym. He says hey to all of them. Like we have to try to tell him like teach him proper times like you said, not the random person that
don't go up and stuff like that.
Yeah,
stranger danger, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like I'm thankful that he is not gonna he's gonna have social. It's just how he is too.
Yeah. And he does jujitsu, so he has friends in jujitsu. He plays
jiu-jitsu,
soccer. He's playing flag football this year. So like they're gonna play sports. They're gonna do a lot. They're gonna be connected. And our partners all have kids, not all around the same age, but
all of our friends are homeschooled, like their kids, and we've seen like our partners who have older kids now, and some of our friends as well who have they're in college. They were homeschooled the whole time, so. I'm like, I've just seen how smart they are, and I'm like, I wish I was that smart.
And aren't there government things that they're doing now that are helping
Tax
parents
credits.
with you're getting credits financial, so it's not it's no longer
so
you're
much
having to come out of pocket.
Well,
for
we just did one
this.
thing called the Step Up program that offered us a certain amount through the state, certain amount of money for curriculum,
like a grant almost.
Nice.
So
So
that's
it
really
covers
cool.
like school books and
like
books.
curriculum.
I mean, it could cover like things that technically work as like PE if you have certain gyms or like jujitsu places that
I know
are.
what that is.
Is that open for everybody? Anybody in
You just have to
Florida?
qualify. I think you have to
think
send
you
your
would have
name
to go
in
apply.
and then just be accepted. But a lot of the people
Yeah,
we know
and I
have
mean-
been.
Then the government has you on a list of these crazy
They-
people.
Always.
Probably do. Yeah.
You're on a list
I
already.
mean,
dude.
no matter what, you would have to
different
register with the state anyways.
And you can't
I guess you don't have
protect
to.
against shootings. I understand. But
Yeah.
with everything going on in the school systems right now too, is it not hard taking your kid? And I know some parents have to do it, so no judgment.
How old are you guys? Do you mind me asking?
I'm 40. I'm a geriatric mother.
Geriatric mother?
I'm
Is that what you're qualified as?
Yeah, 37.
35 and up.
Oh, 35.
Yeah, that's what my mom-
Geriatric mother.
Listen, this is what.
Do
not
you
to
need
go
a
back.
shirt
I'm
that
35,
says?
so-
He just turned 35 yesterday.
Okay.
But this is why
Nice.
everyone's in panic mode around me. Like, you have this, and I said the only thing that makes me high risk is my age.
I know.
But
That's
it's not
it.
even it, because everyone considering family and anyone medical is like, you're high risk, be careful, you're high risk. It's always
Yeah.
this negative. And then she goes to the midwife and they run all these tests and they're like,
You're good.
your high risk score is 0.
Yeah,
So,
she said
Yeah.
because you're 40, I have to check you. Like legally, I have to with our administrative doctor. We have to make sure, and so they run all these things that take precautions for people my age. She's like, you're healthier than 25-year-olds that come in here.
Wow.
Like 0. You are at a 0. So of course I rub it in my mom's face. Like, hey, Mom,
Can you just get a big printed like
Yeah.
high risk equals 0 and just be like,
if we got pregnant, there's a reason,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
trust that.
Yeah.
agreed?
So
you
I
want
try
us to
to,
explain how it happened.
because that's a funny story too.
Oh, interesting.
I'm pretty sure we probably all have a funny
We all
story.
know how that happened. Let's
I'm like,
not talk about
wow, that. Okay. So, but there are some California. Gosh, Florida's doing these new things.
Pregnant.
Thank you. Not new things. They could be forever. But we just learned when you homeschool, you can actually get your kids involved in the public school sports teams. And then they can hold their records. What is it called when you go to apply for college and they've got your
Like your stats or something?
like you submit your paperwork to colleges. Help
Yeah.
me.
What are you talking about? Please, let's let her work this
Go. Go on.
Your
Pause. We'll come back.
Your
Anyway,
scores.
Your report cards?
kind of, but you send them off to the schools when the colleges want your
Scores.
Diploma.
college wants your
Money.
Resume.
what is it? What's it called?
It's
Your,
that.
not your GPA. No.
I just like that I open up my
All
phone.
right,
It's
well,
a
time out. We'll
space
pause
with-
that. So,
We'll be right
But
back.
go into the grant, so I'll figure this out. Transcripts.
Yes.
Well, we only
Okay.
we're not experts
Still
here.
not
Well, my son's only 7.
Still not a-
I'm like, we're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But
So-
they'll give you like 18,000 or 8,000, one of those 8 numbers into
8 and 18 are very.
They give you numbers with 8s in them sometimes.
I would take
They'll
88,000,
give you
please.
a credit. They give you like a
Yeah.
credit in the state of
Oh.
Florida.
I'm
So
in
if
8th
you
grade.
take the kid to a private school, scratch this hole.
You should
I'm Ron
fact check.
Burgundy.
Frankie, we're going to need to fact check all of the information given by.
Look up Trump's new tax plan.
There's
I did
something.
see that.
I did too. That's
Yeah.
I just learned it. Regurgitating it is very hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole point is that there's a lot of support now
Yeah.
for homeschooling.
There is, and
Yeah.
like I had a lot of friends we have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Just me. They're only my friends.
Yeah,
You
I don't
don't
even
have
know
any
who these
friends.
people are. I don't know who any of
homeschooled,
these
you don't have
people
any
are.
friends.
We should have separate podcasts just to find this.
But so like
So I live with this guy, right?
I'll be
He's
here.
my roommate, and he actually fathers my children.
I'll be here when they're
is there
ready
enough
for
oxygen
me.
here?
Okay.
Are we all
Breathing
hallucinating?
hot. When you said
Are you pregnant?
claustrophobic, I was like,
Are you pregnant right now? What's happening? Well, what I was going to say is probably very close to what she was going to say, which was one of the reasons why we made most of these decisions was because we saw people ahead of us that had already done it. So
Yeah.
we were just like, proof is in the pudding. I saw my partner. I saw the way that he was with his wife. I saw the way that he was with his kids. I saw the things that they did, and I went, that looks good to me. And I was just like, I'm gonna do that
Yeah.
because truthfully, that's the life that I want.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much money I make. What I want is I want to love my wife. I want to be kind to her, and I want for us to be in this living relationship with together. I want to be kind to my kids, and I want them to obey me. I want them to, be good children when we come into a podcast, when we do whatever. I want them to be able to go places with us. And I want to do fun things like work out in a gym and go do jujitsu and like live in a community that is a part of that. And we were like, that's what they did. And we're like, okay, cool. And it wasn't just them. We had other friends who had their kids have been homeschooled, and we had saw all them grow up. We had helped, mentor some of these younger boys, younger girls, and then we get to see them as adults now, and we're like, you're cool humans who I like being around. Like, again, proof is in the pudding. Like we're about them growing to becoming, great men as well.
So we've addressed the weird part because homeschool kids just aren't weird anymore. I mean, if they
they're
are, that
not.
has nothing to do with
Yeah.
homeschool.
Yeah.
But what about the other part where people say, what if you want to break from your kids? Because you're with them all day long.
Yeah,
And
what a
moms
great
and parents just need
question.
a little division.
I would say first is, I guess, being in a circle where you have opportunity. Like we have our parents here, so
I was gonna
that
say,
helps
I 100% need a
ton.
break for my kids.
You
I
know?
don't like.
Yeah, if you don't have
Full
a
disclosure, I
yeah.
love them so much, but I definitely need like an hour in the grocery store by myself, or
Yeah.
like
okay,
a shower
that's
by
not what I was
myself.
talking about. But yes, she does go like,
Or,
"Hey, I'm gonna go to
I
the
mean-
store," and I'd be like, "By yourself?" And she's like, "Yes."
Well, you
And I'm
know,
like,
I am
"Okay,
thankful
See you later.
that all the boys say that.
What's funny
All
is
my
like,
boys.
and it's just
Can
different.
we
It's
come?
not the
There's all
same.
three of them by
Like,
the door.
wait,
Stay.
when I'm hanging with the
to sneak
boys,
out.
they can pretty much do whatever they want, and I'm just like, in an area where I'm unconcerned, I'm unconcerned. In areas where I need to interject, I'll interject. But it's like, cool, just do your thing. I mean,
Yeah,
Cruz
we're
is
just wired different, men and
Yeah.
women. So like the things that he can ignore, I can't ignore. And
For sure.
So like I think
Are you listening? I'm like,
are
I didn't hear
so-
any of that.
we're
I'm
so-
not even paying attention.
That's a
we're
weird
really
way to-
blessed
that's a
that
weird
we
way to
have like
start.
family around to where because I don't like trust my kids with anybody but my family. So
Yeah, I feel
I'm
like I'll be the same.
Yeah, I literally like his mom, my mom are like only people that watch him.
Yeah.
And so we're thankful we have that. I think if not, I think having a good day where you have a brain break, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Because I've learned, my girlfriends tell me all the time that women carry more of the mental load. We're thinking about all these things all the time,
Yeah.
where men carry more of the physical load. Like we got to get the kids up and get them here, but we're planning the whole day.
You carry both of those loads. So.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm up at 5. I'm up at 4 a.m. So like I'm at the gym from 5:30 to 6:30, and then I work out at 7:30, and then they join me in the middle of the day. So she gets them up, gets them moving, and for sure carries the mental load because
Yeah.
they're like, "Did you bring snacks?" And I'm like, "Did you bring snacks?"
And mom's like,
And they're
"I
like,
got 'em."
Don't
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so hungry. And I'm like,
Yeah.
brother, you need to bring snacks. So now, actually, my oldest knows if you're coming to the gym with me,
he is
man,
prepare now.
you better bring snacks, man. So he's got a
Reality,
has
backpack.
you're
socks.
asking her, did you bring me snacks when
Yeah.
she gets there at 6:30? 7:30?
He has socks packed like in his backpack,
Yeah.
snacks,
That's
maybe an
good.
extra pair of shoes. Yeah, I'm like
3
like,
different
a few
toys,
times,
4 books.
It saved us because like
brilliant.
his brother forgot socks for soccer, and like he's like, here. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's better than I am.
He's like, I can't fit this in my backpack. I was like, well, what's in your backpack? And he's like, just
Sword.
nunchucks, coloring books. And I'm like, which one of these things do we not need?
Yeah.
In case
Yeah.
the apocalypse is coming.
yeah,
I need
he's
to have it.
prepared.
it
I'm not
totally
mad
repeats
at it
itself.
though.
I need a sword. I need a coloring book.
So because you guys have kids that like to be a part of your lives and go to the gym, what about people whose kids want nothing to do with that?
Well, I would ask the first question, which is why do they not want anything to do with that? It's like our kids have been interjected into our life since they were born, and we've lived our lifestyle the way we've lived our lifestyle, and our children have been a part of it. And we would show up to weddings, and I'd be like, "Hey,
I know.
there aren't kids allowed." I'm like, my kids come everywhere with me. Like,
So,
you should
yeah.
have known that, and you should have been like, "Hey, you should probably plan for a babysitter because my kids are coming." But guess what? They'll be quiet, and if they're not, then I'll make sure they be quiet.
Yeah.
They're gonna be, because I don't want them to be the children that only do children things, and then you can't ever bring them to a business meeting. You can't have a conversation with adults. Like, hey man, if you need to come and talk to me, you know how to get my attention. And until then, you should just wait until I
Yeah,
call
that was a
upon
good
you.
trick.
How do
That
you
was
instill
Bluey.
that?
Yeah.
Bluey, a shout out to Bluey. I know we don't watch Bluey. This was probably the only episode we ever watched.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is genius for us. But because we're at the gym, we're talking to, people, or, it's about the people, not our kids when we're at the gym. So like they'll be like, mommy, or daddy. And we're like, okay, you put your hand on us. And then that shows me that I know you want to talk to me. And then
And I pretty much just go like,
just do that, so they like don't
hear
think we're
ya.
ignoring you. Okay, I see that you're there. And then once there's like a break in the conversation, you just like, thank you for doing that, and then you address them. And I feel like that has helped us a lot. And sometimes they forget, and then we have to like retrain that. But
yeah.
It's a great idea.
And I mean, it's
helpful.
really just like building these tactics for them that, like, I really don't want good children. I really want, hopefully, to build these patterns that they can become teenagers in which I like to be around and grow into be great men. It's like,
Dad.
let's learn these now.
How do you
Where
guys-
are you? I'm so sorry.
Dad, I had hair like
Our
you.
listeners aren't going to know what that is because they missed the first intro part.
I think they all understand.
Okay, since we have Christmas coming up, What do y'all do about Santa Claus?
Ooh, good question.
Okay, so
Okay.
Should we
are
have
gonna
this
hurt.
conversation right now?
No, Frankie knows.
Okay.
I've asked
I'm
her.
like, are
She
we gonna
knows.
hurt her
No,
own
she
So,
knows. Frankie knows.
I don't know.
Frankie, you know,
what
right?
what would you like to lie to
I
your
look
about
up the chimney
Santa
every
Claus,
Christmas and go, where are you?
Where are you?
Wait, let's ask. Who is Santa Claus?
He is a person that brings you gifts that, like, if you're good and
It's a good answer.
Does he bring you gifts still? Are you good?
all the time.
Okay.
Duh.
My
Maybe
brother's gotten coal before.
has he really?
Oh, wow.
A whole big bag of coal.
Oh, maybe we need to tiptoe
sideway
around. Yeah.
Well, just
Well, my thought was
Do you do this or not do this?
well, we
I don't know. So maybe my answer is probably a little bit shorter than that. Is like we're believers in God too, and we
You can't be both.
You can't be.
You
I
can't
mean,
believe in
listen.
Santa
I'm gonna
and
tell
in
I'm gonna tell Cruz about
Nick.
Cruz and Zeke about this guy named Jesus, and how can I tell them to completely believe in this truth while also feeding them something that I know is not true. Now that doesn't mean I don't have to. Like my mom is Christmas to a T.
Yeah.
She just messaged us 4 days ago, like, hey,
Santa,
you need to send us a
send a
message so I can
list.
send Santa his list.
which she makes it
And-
so magical. I'm so thankful.
Exactly.
For it.
And I do believe that there's good to it. So in my house, if you don't believe, then you don't receive. So I believed until I left my mom's house. My
was
brother
3 years
and
ago.
at this point, my brother's like, I swear I saw Rudolph's nose out the window. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe they were playing a game with a red light. I have no idea what it was, but
That was
that's
an airplane with the flashing red.
yeah, like that's how my mom was, and she still does that, and we still don't have all the presents the night before, and when we get there in the morning,
Santa's delivered.
Santa's delivered. So I think that there's magic to keeping it magical.
Oh, you're fine.
It's a panel.
Where are you?
That was a sound panel that keeps falling as well. Oh no! Face down. You wanna
But
fix it?
I
Click
just
three and-
am not super certain about allowing them to believe the truth of one thing
Yeah.
that we might not be able to see, and then feeding them one, and then going, well, that was just kind of like fun.
That's how we feel too. I
So-
don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that I agree. I was like, oh no, we're not going to do that. And then I felt like I did see like that our moms liked pretending that, there is one.
Yeah.
So I just like let them do that. And like on the side, I have conversations with
Yeah.
Cruz.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's a character and we talk about who he is, but like,
And he was a
what's
real
the-
person, and there was
what's the
someone
real
who
reason
did this.
behind
Yeah.
Christmas, and we talk about the real reason why we celebrate Christmas, and like
Allen.
Jesus was a
Tim
gift, and so we love to give gifts and just remember, him that way. So I said, but you don't go around telling other kids that because
I tell them pretty much it's not our burden to carry, but like don't go and just drop a bomb on someone who says Santa's real. Like
Yeah.
if they believe that and it makes them like feel really good and their parents do that, then it's not your job to tell them, buddy.
Yeah.
You let their
Yeah.
parents
So,
do that.
he's only questioned a couple times, and
There is no tooth fairy at our house either. There's Mimi
It's
Fairy
Mimi
and Grandma Fairy.
That's so cute.
If honestly, if it were up to me, we
Mimi-
wouldn't give money for your
What's it?
tooth.
Mimi
Yeah.
Fairy
I'd be like,
Kind of weird.
sorry,
yes,
buddy.
I do because I would give a
You
quarter.
lost a tooth. Cool beans. I'd be like, we'd go back to like nickels and dimes. It's like, here you go, pal. Like, like
Pops. Inflation.
what'd you do to lose that tooth, by the way? Yeah, like
I
it's-
ripped it out.
Like, here you go. I mean, I tell them like, if you want to make some money, you can go clean the gym, and I'll pay you exactly.
Are you guys doing that? Are you teaching
Yeah,
your
we do.
kids
Yeah.
like if you
Yeah.
want to make allowance or do you
I
have
make him
chores?
negotiate with me. I was
Yeah.
like, did you negotiate on price? I was like, the price is still quarters, buddy. So I was like, quarter per bench. Go
right.
wipe 'em
His
down.
mom
If you
owns a
reinvest
cleaning-
it into the gym, I will give you a
Higher percentage.
percentage back.
His mom owns a cleaning business, and they also want to go like clean. They're like, Mimi, can I
Yeah.
come clean with you? And
Dude,
you're
I
like,
grew
"Yes."
up doing that. When
It's
I was like
amazing.
4 years old, we were going to houses and I vacuumed and wiped down baseboards. Like, and I mean, I got to see my mom was like, I didn't want to put you in daycare. Like, so me and my 3 brothers, we have 4 brothers, there's 5 of us. We would just go clean with my mom. And that's one of the reasons why she chose to do what she did, which was, I won't let anybody else take care of you. You're just going to come with me. So
I think that that's also something we believe strongly. I don't know if I want to have a kid so somebody else can take care of them.
Yeah.
It's just not something, I'm not wired that way. If I'm going to have a kid, I want to raise it.
Oh, yeah.
I want to raise it.
Yeah.
You know, and
some people have to.
some people have to. And so I'm not in no judgment
course.
at all on that front. But some people are like, I just need 8 hours of my day to
And then
drop
the son's
this
at
kid
home
off.
alone going, where are you?
I'm so sorry.
Gosh.
I'm loving how it's living right there.
Daddy wasn't there.
Oh my goodness.
If you guys can edit a nice, good like hair on here, I would actually appreciate
I'll
it.
Photoshop one on your headshot from earlier.
just
Oh my
one.
Right across here.
And I know I want to
It'll be
respect
all
Joel's
bald
time,
but just
but
bangs. Is that okay?
well, I want to segue because you guys have very much a God conscious, and
Yeah.
you're doing stuff with mentoring men and
Different from a
women.
God complex.
Yeah, definitely. So what are you guys doing in the community
So it's
with
actually
that?
my partner, Jordan Bowen. So he,
Every time you say partner, I think your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Like it's so
Our
hard. You can't
business
even
he's
say partner
our-
anymore.
our business partner.
The guy we own the gym
You guys
with.
have lovers.
Correct. The guy we
guy
own the
we
gym
own the
with. So he was one of the reasons why I signed up at the gym. Fitness was a byproduct, but I saw the man that he was, and I was like, actually, the first time I met him, I thought, there's no way. Like, what? This guy is the picture and the image, and his whole life was true to exactly what he said. Another one of my buddies says, if his video matches his audio, like it was everything he said was exactly what he did, and I didn't ever see that change. And so he helped mentor me and 3 of my buddies, all gym owners as well, and helped mentor us in our marriage, challenge us as men, and just like stand up and do what you need to do. And here's what's required for you to do that. And here's what God would love for you to do. And here's the way that I think you can do that and apply that. And without a doubt has completely changed the way that I act with her, with my kids. And it's a constant thing. It's not even like it's finished. It's like the other day I was working with Cruz on something. And when I say I was working with him, he was running some sprints because I was like, look, man, here's where this is. And you can either choose to get frustrated at yourself or you just handle the task at hand, because this is where we're at right now, and we're not leaving until you get this work done. So here we go. And it ended up working out well, but sometimes that tough love area is really hard. So he was like, man, he's seen the change in myself and Damon and Santi and our other buddy Schiff, all their gym owners, and was like, how can I connect this to other people? So we started the Uncommon Tribe. So it is a platform on something called School, where you get in, it's like classes and videos, and it really is just about becoming an uncommon man, because the common man right now is the one that won't fight for his marriage or won't fight for his kids or won't do everything that he can before trying to lead his family. And we're trying to be uncommon in that way. So there's videos, there's practical applications, and ultimately you get to be in a community of men who are going to challenge you to do the hard thing, which is the best thing, which is, give your life so that others may live, and the others being those that are around you.
Have you noticed a difference at all with him in this
Yeah.
program, in your marriage? Have you seen it
well,
reflected?
It's honestly,
The program's
it's
new,
about to
but
start.
it's not even
Yeah.
started yet. But early on in our marriage, I'm so thankful for the mentors in our life that, talk to us about the hard things, like arguments and sex and all this stuff that you just don't talk about.
Or even
or you
coming
just-
to walk with God, not talking about it in the church, and
right. So
not knowing these things.
I think too, not a knock on your dad, because we love your dad, but
Of course.
his mom raised him for the most part. So the manly side, my dad's a super manly man. I feel like I was able to see we butt heads a lot, because I was I'm the oldest too, so I just got stuff
Stubborn
done.
is the word that
Are you
she's
naturally
looking
like,
for.
are you a
Stubborn.
masculine female? Like, do you
Yes,
come in
so-
with that independence
yes.
already? Yeah.
So having to learn to be feminine, and he's got it.
Allow
and trust
him to take the lead.
was huge, yeah. And I remember we
So
got
I
an
wouldn't even
argument
call
in
her
the
a
gym.
masculine female. I would just call her an alpha.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
If nobody's gonna do it, she'll step up and take the reins 100%.
Yeah.
But it's just I had to go one, in certain areas, don't do it if you expect me to do it. Stop giving me an easy way out. And then
Well, yeah, because
communicate.
my dad taught me skills that I'm I could just do this. I know
She's
how to
talking
do this.
about one specific
No,
time.
I'm not talking about one specific time. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about in general.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
I can relate.
She changed the
I
light
relate.
bulb.
Yeah.
So
No, I
I'm
can
going to
relate.
drill something in, and she's like, you shouldn't do it that way. And I'm like,
Story of that's our marriage.
interesting.
Anyways,
I'm going to
we
try to
worked through
figure
it.
it out. And she's like, that's not the way I learned how to do it. And I was like, well, my
obviously-
dad didn't teach me, so we're going to figure this out, all right?
Yeah, and like having, but what it is
And
it's like
16 holes later,
what
we hung up the painting.
Yo, that is the picture
never
and
been
image
anymore.
of me hanging up things in
Anymore.
drywall. 16 holes later. It's
okay.
like,
Still is.
So now you have to just cover it. We're gonna need a bigger mirror to hang.
yeah.
And I tell people this, like we're constantly still learning about each
yeah.
other in our marriage. And
Yeah.
we've been together for 15 years, which by the way, when you guys said congratulations
great.
on the phone, it was shocked me.
Yeah.
Like we have to congratulate people now
Yeah.
to making it past.
That's
To
true.
like staying together.
That's true.
That's the uncommon man thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
But we built out a van together during COVID to travel and live in it for a year. And I'm
I
like,
told him, I'm like, that we wanted to do that.
it's amazing. I recommend it. I was like, I know this man. Look the back of my hand. Well, you build something together.
yeah.
I'm very
Or live with someone.
In
And
that
have
van.
man, but I'm very thought provoked. I like to research products. I like to know what we're doing. I like to have a plan. David's like, we don't have time. We got to
got
get
2
this
weeks to get
done.
this thing out of
So
here.
he's in there just like poking holes, and I'm like, stop putting holes in the
Makes it
wall.
seem
Like
so
figure.
different than it is.
But just in my mind, it was that
It's like
dramatic,
pregnancy.
you know. And in
Poking
his mind, he's like,
holes.
no, it's just 3. It's fine. We got to just
yeah.
get it done. But I was raised like think about it, get it done, very independent. Like
There's
if
a
you're,
middle ground for sure. Because my
Yes.
dad is like just push and grind and might bend it and well, we'll break it back into place. She was
no.
raised by her stepdad who will be like, well, hold on now.
Plan. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, my
And-
dad's
but
like
it,
that too.
it is such a plan to where I'm like, we've been staring at this for 3 hours and we haven't done it.
Yeah, but it's done right.
Yeah.
Where he's like, it's done right at the end, but we're gonna get it done 3 hours faster.
Have you looked at Strength Finders yet?
Is that what you sent me?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
you need to
did.
do
It's
that.
$24.99. Just to, I looked it up
24?
today before.
I think 40.
Correct.
It's
You
I'm gonna
need to
do
do
it.
it for
49.
the test.
The
I don't
whole
even know.
34.
Whatever it
The
is.
They were like
it's
a
for the whole
bunch.
thing.
Okay, okay.
What is
Because
this?
It is
Yeah, tell
a
David.
personality test. Another one of our mentors.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Just saying.
You should too. Okay.
Come along with me, baby.
Let us know about. And it is like a personality test that is like strands of DNA. So it's going to give you a list of 32, I think they call them talents, and your top 5 are inherently you. The middle to like,
like 34.
14 or something, 34. Sure, there's a number.
It's like a deep dive on your
Is
love
like
language.
these are auxiliary, and then these are like non-talents. So your top 5, you
like how you
don't
operate.
even choose to do this. It's who you are. It's how you get stuff done. It's how you communicate to the world. It's who you are, whether it's for good or for bad. And then your auxiliaries, they can be done, but they require a little more energy. And then your non-talents, if you're required to do them, it probably sucks the life out of you. And
I can't
See,
wait to
he's
see
already
what hers
know-
are.
instead of
love to see
identifying
what y'all's are.
himself, he's like, I know what
Drains
yours
you.
are.
I know. I want to
Yeah.
see what y'all's are.
so like
they're
when you're
obvious
saying
to
this,
both of
like
us.
you're probably a high activator, which means like no,
Just
we
wanna
know
get it
this.
done. Yeah,
we need
that's
to
how
like,
we are.
Can I just? It's like fail forward, like shoot,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
let's aim. Like
Yeah.
let's figure it out
Yeah.
because I haven't done anything yet.
Now I know I just need to go a little more left. Let's go.
And actually, I'm like number. I think
We're
I'm a number
both
4.
having it in our top 5.
I'm a number 4 activator.
And I also
Something
have a
else.
high, too.
She's a high restorative, which means she sees things that are wrong and wants to find correction to them as well. You're
Solution,
like
it's
you
a
went. That's me.
Yeah.
But literally, I need to figure out via doing what I'm actually figuring
too.
out, because if I haven't even started, you're asking me questions. I don't even know what'll work and what won't work. All right.
Well, it saved our marriage for like communication for sure. I think it saved us years of arguing.
We wouldn't have divorced, but we would have gone to
Oh
the death.
gosh, we would
For
have.
sure. Fly to the death.
And just learning how, okay, this is how he operates. It doesn't make him wrong. That's just who he is. So like me accepting, like he has woo, and I always thought he was just like so flirtatious, and I was like, ugh, you're just
I'm
flirting
not
with
flirting
everyone.
with David. I'm just talking to him,
Like
honey.
really, he just like
Jeez.
wants. It's called winning others over. So he just
Oh,
really
I thought you were
wants to
just a
get
woo
people
boy.
to like him.
Yeah.
You know, like
Flair.
that's one of the things. And I was just never got it, which is funny because I have it in my like top 10. So I guess I do. But I just was like in a male, it comes off really flirty. Or saying I
Yeah.
think the same thing with like girls, but just realizing okay, like his communication is super high. So he just like will talk, and when we're in an argument, it's like he's talking over me, and then I can't get something in because I'm not as good as he is at communicating. So then I get lost and not heard. So it was like learning that about each other was able to save so many, like where it would be a 5-hour fight, okay, it turned to 1 hour. You know, it's like little things like that. And now I feel like our disagreements we at least know where each other are coming from. We still disagree, but I don't remember the last time we really got into like a
Yeah.
scream match or something crazy. So
Want to take it?
Yeah, y'all should take
test?
it. Send it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. We'll send it to you. It'll be fun. Because I think you can do it
But
like
also,
a team or
it's
something.
great for career, but like
Yeah.
to know if you're in the right career too.
Yeah.
Like I was a social worker, and my top 5 are like positivity, relating, like all these like
Relationship
things
and influencing
that were
themes.
not
Yeah.
social work, not my job. Like I literally come home and I would just like sit and look at TV. Like I was so emotionally and energy drained. So realizing that like, okay, this is not the career field that I'm built for.
Sure.
So that was really cool too.
Yeah.
I love it.
One of the analogies they use is if you took like a fish or some other animal and an eagle, you wouldn't have the eagle go learn how to really be a good swimmer. It's like you should figure out that an eagle is meant to fly and a fish is meant to swim, and then maximize the things that you're good at. But what we've learned in school is like, you're not great at writing, so you should definitely get a writing tutor. And it's like, well, actually, if you become a professional, you just get someone else to write for you, and you do the thing that you do very well, very well.
Yeah.
They did a test with kids who were reading, and they would have a group of good readers and a group of bad readers, and they had them all like figure out the best way to learn how to read better. And the group that was bad at reading, they got like moderately better. The group that was good at reading, like 100x'd how good they could be. It literally was just like skyrocketed
Wow.
them. Because if you're good at it, you'll like to do it and you'll get even better at it. But if you're bad at it, you might get moderately good, but it's not going to change inherently who you are, which is, again, just with the school system, like drained
Well, that's
in
what
your
I was
brain.
gonna say, that-
you have a D.
Yeah.
You should make that an A.
Which
It's
is
like,
a reason why we like the homeschool option, because like we can know our kids so well. We'll know like the areas they are just naturally good at. Like Cruz is just naturally good at math. Okay, well, you know, maybe we'll hone in on that. You know, obviously he has to learn how to read.
Right,
but
right.
you know, like things like that as they get older and their character develops and stuff too.
just
we
point
just
out
like,
who you are and then bashing up what's not great. But you don't have to be fantastic at
Right.
it, because that's not realistic to what we do. It's like,
Lean into your strengths
Yeah,
a little bit
yeah.
more.
Yeah, you
That's-
must buy Hooked on Phonics and force the kid to.
right now,
that
actually,
is that not what that
Okay,
came from? It's
there
like,
is
you
this-
suck at reading, you're going to have to go
We
to.
have a program now.
We
you
have
pay
a full
for.
program.
There's
Yeah.
this game.
You're broke and
I
dumb.
remember it. It's like a fidget reading game, and there's these little fidget, little pokey things, and then they're the cards, and you roll a dice, pick a card, and you have to read it, and like sound it out, obviously. And if you get it, then you pop that many things that you rolled, and then whoever pops them all wins. And it's like it's fun. My sons like love that game, and they're
Yeah.
like reading, so like it's crazy. Like
It doesn't make them feel stupid. It empowers them
it
to
empowers
want to
them,
play.
and they're
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
fun. I
Yeah,
have-
yeah, yeah.
And then you
I
can bring
love
up
fun.
that stuff later because you actually learned. While
Yeah.
doing
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it's like so fun.
That was one thing to go back on that story too. We also learned, because we run a business together, and people say, how do you, probably the same thing they say to you, how do you homeschool and work and do,
Yeah.
how do you do it all? Well, you learn.
Yeah.
So we run a business, we're married, we're having a kid together, and
What?
we've learned, we've learned
David, you're so funny.
staying in our own lanes.
Yeah.
And that was really hard, because sometimes David would come into my lane and he could help me, but it wasn't where he was good at. And I'd be like, well, why can't you help me do this? Or same with him. Like, I'm not good at, I can edit, but what would take me 6 hours to
Exactly.
edit, he could do in 10 minutes. So I'm like, why? He would want me to do it,
Until she
But it
brings
wasn't
me all
my
her
st-
friends' things. Can you edit this for me?
but it's not my strength.
no.
And I would want him to go and book clients, but that's not his strength.
Yeah.
And so we've learned where our strengths are and to try to stay in that. So
Yep.
to go back on the marriage part, we're constantly still learning.
100%. Yeah.
We had this one more tiff to bring up. I think we've talked about it, but I spent the whole day just like deep cleaning the house, and he was coming home from a trip, and he was like, I was like, I cleaned the house. I've been in here. He was like, what have you been doing all day? I'm like, I've been deep cleaning. And he goes, the house doesn't look clean.
I didn't say that.
You
I
said
just looked at
And I'm like,
all the counters are full of stuff.
So
the
what we
tables-
learned- so what we
In the
learned,
arms of an angel. So it's rest in peace.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
Christ.
my idea of clean is like cleaning light switches and baseboards and fan blade, things that he wouldn't notice. But his idea of cleaning is to like
Actually
declutter.
cleaning.
Don't put don't have stuff around. But to me, stuff doesn't mean dirty. It just means you have stuff.
Yeah.
Dirtiness.
Why is the counter full of things?
Yes. And so we
Why is it
had to
all
learn.
yours?
I learned David's way of cleaning is to just
better.
get stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
Where my
Yeah.
cleaning is to like, get in the nitty gritty.
You're like, I don't have
really
to wipe
clean.
this, but if I organize these books, this is definitely much better than it was before.
Yeah. So and it's great because we're opposite. So the house will be clean just differently, you know. But we've had to learn
get there.
communication, what clean means to both of us.
Yes,
in
but
our
living in the
marriage.
van, what the part she hated was I'd be like, tomorrow morning, let's wake up early, and then we'll go for a walk and then hit the road. My early is 5 a.m. Her early was like 8:30.
Yeah.
So when I get up, she goes,
yeah.
"What are you doing awake?" I'm like, "I said we're getting up early today." She wanted to kill me immediately.
So we had to learn too, what does early? Let's specify the night before what early means, because if you wake me up at 5 a.m.,
what time
I'm
is
gonna kill
early?
you.
If I say tomorrow, wake up early, what time do you think?
Yeah, I would say probably 6 a.m.
What would you think?
That's what I was thinking.
Y'all are monsters. I'm in a room of monsters. Frankie, what time? Frankie, if I said you have to get up early, what time would you think that is? For you.
7:30.
That's my girl right there. That's my
Well,
girl.
I'm not gonna lie. I like to sleep in, but once you
was
have
like,
kids, I
wait,
don't.
What? You would say?
Yeah, early.
6 a.m.?
If we were gonna go on a road, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, on
Yeah,
the
on
road.
the
Yeah,
road.
yeah. But
Yeah,
if you were
yeah.
just like,
But-
let's get up early tomorrow.
Oh,
So if I
then,
say
yeah,
let's
it's like
get up
7-ish.
and drive tomorrow early, what time is that then?
Not 5:30, you monster.
That's exactly. I want to hit the road like at 5. if I'm
But
going
so
on a
what
road
would
trip.
happen is he'd get up, he would set his alarm for 5:30, but naturally he'd wake up at like 4 a.m. And so you're in a,
Oh my God.
you're in a
Staring
tin
out the
box.
window.
Oh my God.
And I'm
Looking
like-
at mountain ranges, just.
And I'm like, I
I
know
don't
you're
know,
awake.
she won't
I
do
can
it.
hear you breathing. I know you're awake. I'm like, go to sleep. He's like, I can't. I'm up. I'm
How many
like,
hours
You
do
said
you get at night?
5:30.
Probably 6 or less.
Gosh, why are we all the
Men and women
same?
are so different.
How
Sleep.
much time
we need
do
to
you
sleep
need?
more.
I
We
went to
need
bed
8,
last
right?
night at 8 p.m. I was wide awake at 3:45.
Oh,
Oh,
crap.
yeah, I was like,
I-
it doesn't matter.
I was like, wow,
Philip
good
Pillow.
job. And you're like, yeah, but I woke up at the same hour mark. I'm like, well,
I
that
was
didn't work.
in bed going 9, 10, 11. I was like counting. I was like, why
do
am
the
I
same-
awake?
I do the same thing. I'm like, okay, what do I need? I'm just getting 9:15 and 10:15, 11:15. I'm like, okay, 6
I would
hours, okay.
love to be this. I would love to be you. And it might happen when this
Who doesn't
kid is
want
here.
to be
No,
this?
it
But
won't. You'll just
No,
be
when
tired.
you take strength
Yeah.
finders, you'll realize that's not.
Sorry.
It's not actually
I'd
what's
be tired.
happening.
I'm a night
so.
owl. Like at
Yeah, that is
midnight,
the good
I'm
thing.
up.
Where
Yeah.
if the baby needs to be up early, I'm up early already,
Yeah.
and
Let her
she's
sleep.
up late.
Yeah.
Even if I go come to bed, she's like okay, and then she's just staring
lays
at the
there.
ceiling.
Yeah.
I
Same.
can't.
Yeah.
I
I must stare
try.
at
I
my
really
phone
do.
now because otherwise I'll just stare at the ceiling.
Do you
Yeah.
fall asleep like right away?
Yes.
I hit the-
and,
I
and
hit
I get the
the
pillow.
zoomies. I
Let's
get
watch
the
a show
zoomies.
tonight. Sure.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
me.
Now she watches a full season of something. She's like,
I'll
why'd you
binge
tell
the
me to
whole-
watch that? I'm like, I didn't.
I know.
Turn it off.
So there are moments like this that I think you're constantly going to learn in your marriage, and it makes it fun once you get through it, because but just learning.
Yeah.
Just go to sleep.
Like you're like this.
Yeah.
We have people we know that have been married for 30 years. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Congratulations.
that's the picture. Like that's what we want.
Such
Like,
a smart
congratulations, man. Congratulations, huh?
Such a
But I'm
troll.
like, they enjoy each other. They still
Yeah.
they still have arguments, and it's like that never goes away. It's like the communication. Like just continue to figure out how to communicate.
Yeah.
Like fight through it. kind of
Make it
thing.
fun.
Don't actually
Yeah.
fight through it though.
Yeah, don't actually
James-
fight through it.
James and the Giant Peach. Remind us. We'll talk about it later. But that's a funny story. Not appropriate for.
Okay, moving
the
on.
They gotta get
Now
out
they're
of
gonna
here
ask
right
about
now,
it.
right?
Well, I wanted
Great.
to.
Times that we have.
2:35.
How about
Yeah, we're okay.
Okay, I want to talk about marriage then.
Okay.
With kids, how did your marriage shift when you guys had kids? Did you prepare for this? I know we do
How does one
premarital
prepare for
counseling
this?
when you get married.
Yeah,
Is there
I think
a
you fall
premarital?
forward like you were talking
No, we
about.
left with the baby, and then I think we got home
Honestly-
and went, "What is going on?"
Yeah, no, I don't think.
Did you
I think it was in
baby-proof
the
the
car.
house?
I had that realization of like, now what?
Were you micromanaging him
We're
as a
bringing it
dad?
home.
Like, don't
No.
hold the baby like that.
No,
or
she
because I
never did
hear.
that.
Okay,
No.
how do you?
Didn't.
Just
Well,
think. How
also
do you get
he's
away
one
from
of
that?
5. He literally
Yeah,
raised
I-
his younger brother,
yeah,
so
I
I
was
wasn't
16
even
when my
worried. I
youngest
feel like he was
brother
more
was
equipped than
old.
I was. I feel like
yeah.
I was just like,
I knew how to change diapers. I knew
Yeah.
how to
Teach
him.
birth
He's never
babies.
changed.
Like,
yeah,
and also I've realized like you're gonna
just
figure it out in the next month that you
Oh,
have them
yeah.
because you're like you just get time under tension like that. You don't have a choice.
Are you just
gonna figure
using
it out.
weightlifting as a reference?
Speaking of weightlifting, well, Militia
can
Fitness
train you for
here in
parenthood.
Destin.
You know, when
if
you get your
wanna
baby, time under tension. You know,
Don't.
slow on the
Will
negative when
say,
you're putting the
after
baby
you are
down.
there and you're
Negative.
holding that baby.
You're gonna
you
come
get
work
sick
out with me,
bicep
David.
humps.
We're gonna
Let's do
enjoy
it.
this, all right? Let's do it,
Yeah.
man. What are you
How about
doing
you did
later?
pull-ups
Let's hang out.
and
all right?
push-ups with the baby?
We're going upper body
I actually
tomorrow.
did do
so
that.
come
I've
join,
weighted
all right?
weighted pull-ups before.
Dude, I mean, I would coach
Wow.
with the baby. I would coach with Cruz on my body the entire
Yeah.
time. You definitely figure out how to hold kids and demonstrate.
I think
I have
what-
one example of holding Cruz, and I was like demonstrating something, and the next thing you know, everyone's doing single arm push press. I'm like, guys,
No, both
you,
arms.
2 arms. Me, hold baby, 1 arm. See this? And I was like, can't do that. I'm like, had to put him here. I'm like, see this? This is 2 now.
Was
Like,
Cruz's first words like 3 more.
No, right.
200-meter run.
No, I think that like he was really good in like realizing like I just went through something completely crazy, and so I think that he just met my need wherever that was. So I don't think I really knew what I needed like early postpartum. So, you know, you cry a lot and there's random things that happen and emotions, and I think he understood that.
Or
Yeah, he cried a lot. Yeah, and I had a comfort.
I'm also my number one on the Strength Finders is positivity. So I look at the glass half full no matter what. It can be a detriment if I'm not careful, because I'll be like, come on, suck it up. But like every day I was like, dude, you're crushing it and you're not in a rush. Like your body's gonna heal, you're gonna come back, you don't have to be anything right now. Like this is that's your goal.
I think too, it's just like pivoting, like you said, like we literally always just pivot in life, like, and something's not working or you just see a change. It's like, okay, let's like pivot and shift. It's never just like, I give up.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll say the best thing that we've always applied is that we're just on the same team. And if we have something that we disagree on, then there's a reason usually, and we both should consider why that reason is, and then find a way to be on the same team.
And have you got to the point yet where like Cruz is old enough to see the conversation, so don't
facts.
blatantly in front of him be on different teams almost where you're arguing?
Yeah, he gets both sides.
Let's huddle up so we're
he gets
not.
honesty. What he's not allowed to do is try to split us. So if he gets an answer and he tries to go over,
But
I'm
Dad
like,
said,
brother, that's
they've
not
gotten
how
in
this
trouble for
works.
that. But also they have seen us disagree, and I think they're like, stop fighting. We're like, this is not fighting. This is disagreeing about something, and we're trying to figure it out. You know,
Stop
fighting. I think that's not. I think that's what you like have to see, like a healthy argument.
discourse.
Do you support, like when you're in a moment, do you have to pull him aside and do you have to pull her aside and say, hey, I didn't really disagree with that parenting choice. I'm going to support you in the moment in front of our kids? Or?
We've done that a few times.
Yep.
Yeah.
And do you listen or are you like, you're wrong?
Oh, and the immediate reaction is
It's
like,
usually like, you're right.
seriously? Like,
Well,
You doing this right now?
seriously?
Yeah.
I think
of
the
course we
first
try.
reaction is flesh. It's like, dude, I'm doing my best job that I can do. And you come back and you're like, you're coming from a place that obviously is not in the emotion of it. And also one thing we learned is like, dude, you don't have to apply emotion. Like it does not have to be an emotional
it's really
situation.
hard to do that,
Like it's like for your children, it's obey or it's disobey. Like there's no gray, and actually when you start creating gray areas, it's disobey. Like so we just try to go, look man, this is what this is, and actually if there's a consequence for something, I shouldn't even have to tell you what it is. You understand. It's like when you get fired from a job and your boss calls you in and he's like, so you know what this talk is about? And you're like, I'm getting fired, huh? It's like, yep.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? It's like, well, probably because I looked up that stuff on the internet. Like,
no,
yep, see
you're
you
one of
later.
those.
No, definitely not. Well, my kids
Such
don't
a
have
specific
to.
reference.
Yes.
You
I
left
know
your
why I said it.
webcam on.
We knew.
We all saw.
You were
Google
looking
told
up
us.
drills
You
and
logged in to the conference
It's
call like that.
my kids come in and they're like, yep, it's this and this is why. And I'm like, yeah, like it's not my decision at that point. The decision has already been made. And, you know, when other parents hang out with their kids, they're like, oh my gosh, they're so great. This is awesome. And I'm like, when they're with us, I'm like, man, like, are we doing a good job?
Yeah.
This is really
I
hard,
bet.
man. Like this is,
That's how it works.
which is why even with a third one, you're like, dude, are you ready to go like zone
Outnumbered.
defense? Like we can't play man to man anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Let's go boxing one. You chase
Yeah.
that one. I got these ones.
Let's go, man. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for David as a dad coming in?
Oh, interesting. I want to hear.
Good questions.
Yeah.
Don't
She's like,
drop.
told you I like
Don't
to
drop
do
the
it.
baby.
let's go deep.
Don't drop
First,
the baby.
Yeah.
Everybody
Poops.
has dropped their baby one time.
I
Or
would
the
not
baby
say
has rolled
drop.
off
How
the
high?
bed.
I was gonna say, where are we
Rolled
taking-
off
Like,
of
most-
something.
Like, how do you
Horrific
realize
sound.
You
they're
sit down
rolling?
1
Like,
second and you hear a thud.
they're
you're
gone.
like, oh.
Like
Yeah,
one,
it's
you know what I
crazy.
mean?
And
Or
you
like
wait for the
you're
cry.
walking,
That
you're
one, like
walking into the
this.
door
Not
and you
my
get one
second,
like,
I don't
you know, it's like there's, like
It didn't happen. It didn't
everybody did.
Here comes the
Guaranteed.
cry.
Okay.
I've done it to other people's babies.
Yeah. You hit your head as a baby once? She can't hear me. Perfect.
happen. She's the only one who can hear us perfect, actually.
And I guess my advice would be, you set the standard. You can't require anything that you don't do yourself. So in my kindness, I treat her. In the way, like I have to remind myself to share because I don't want to share. I'm selfish. But if I'm demonstrating that, then they're not going to do it. And there's certain areas where, that also becomes gray. It's like, bro, did you bring food? And if that was your fault, then hey man, sometimes that's your gig. But
Personal responsibility.
yeah, I'm going to do my best to lead from the front. And if I'm not doing that, then that's usually where my frustration comes from. I got to like cover all my areas of what I'm doing, and then I can require high requirements from everybody else, because like he's not allowed to say he's tired. Like if you're coming to the gym with me and like you
rough.
wake up, you can't be like, oh, I'm tired. Like you didn't have to come to the gym this morning. You make it because he wants to come 5 a.m. Hey, can I come in the morning?
He's a monster too. I'm surrounded by a bunch of monsters.
are.
It just seems fun for him. He's like,
It
I
is.
get up
It's
when
fun.
it
It's a
starts.
good time.
That doesn't happen
Yeah.
very often
It
because
doesn't.
sleep is important.
And it's important for him as a
Her
kid.
brother,
Yeah.
he wants to go, like if I go golfing with my dad or something, I want to go. He'll be there early, and halfway through, I'm bored.
I'm like, dude, if you're gonna make a decision, that's okay. I'm just gonna hold you to this decision. So like as we go, you don't have an excuse to be unkind to your mom when we get home, and also you're free to go take a nap. But he's a FOMO times 1,000.
Yeah.
I can't take a nap.
I'll miss out on something
What if I miss out
extraordinary.
on something fantastic happening at 1 o'clock? You know, it's,
We're like,
something good might happen.
Literally, we're doing nothing. You could take a nap.
Santa Claus could be here at any moment.
He's,
We don't know that,
he's
okay?
walking through that door.
We have no idea.
'Tis the season,
So,
Dad.
I just want to demonstrate to them what that looks like. So like, and I mean, they're not allowed to disrespect their mom from a very early age. It was like, she's my wife first, and then she's your mom. So don't talk to my wife like that.
Do you hold that same standard with the kids, with dad too?
Yeah.
I'm not convinced.
Well,
No,
well,
if
no.
actually,
I think there's a couple times I've been like, don't disrespect.
yeah, if
that,
she does
but
anything, she just makes me hold the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like-
say, I'm like, he's being
carry the boat.
disrespectful.
Yeah,
Because I think he could sometimes be not soft, but like,
So my
you know.
my mom was a hard ass. She definitely spanked us. My mom was like the one, like, for all my friends were afraid of her. Do not mess with my mom's the mom of 5 boys.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
be
yeah.
soft.
She
So-
has to.
She's
Yeah.
small little
You
thing
know?
too.
yeah, she's like 5'3".
Just put the fear in you.
She's like,
blonde hair, blue eyes too.
Yeah.
And I wasn't adopted, David.
everyone thinks she's my mom. Yeah, it's crazy.
They're still holding on to that,
But
huh?
like her dad was military and
he's
in the
hard nuts,
Navy,
yeah.
and like
Yeah.
woke up every morning at 5 a.m. and
Monsters,
So
I
she's
tell you.
literally
like
like
3.
hey, come on, this can't happen. And I'm like, I got it.
Because one crack, it's like I just see that, well, it's probably my restorative. I'm like, that's gonna go bad if we keep letting that happen. So I think we're a good team as far as that goes.
Yeah.
What, honey? You looking at me for something?
We have that same conversation.
What do you mean?
Ours with the dog.
What do you mean? My perfect little angel?
Of course.
What do
Yeah.
you mean?
The dog's
That's
not
where
allowed
it
on the
comes.
bed, or when
Yeah.
he's doing something in the
Yeah,
street. I'm like,
good
don't
luck.
let him. He's gonna think that's okay going forward. It's like the same conversation.
Yeah.
So
But I
Yeah.
also have the mentality
Practicing.
that it's important to let kids, kids, let them push a little bit of a boundary. Let them learn. You can't control
just let the car hit the dog.
everything.
It's fine.
That's I don't do it when cars are
well,
coming.
Yeah.
But we're different in that state.
Well,
We're-
there's a
we
balance.
we
Yeah.
do, yeah, we do bounce
Yeah.
it. I think at the park, there's boundaries. You
Yes.
can't go past here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safety.
Then you have freedom, and then there's boundaries at the gym. You can't go off here, and so but then there's freedom. So I think without boundaries, there's chaos. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we do. Anytime we're somewhere, it's
Actually, it's like
what's
being
there?
here. They're like, what can I do? And if I
Yeah.
say nothing at all,
Oh yeah, they'll be everywhere.
it's chaos. But
So
if I go
hopefully
like, yeah,
they're up front still. I said, don't go
When I
outside.
opened
They're at boat
they're
shafts.
hanging from chandeliers like,
When I opened this
Polly's the
door,
one
they were
hanging from
both
the
sitting right there.
I wanna swim.
Hey there.
They're not anymore. They've parked there
Yeah.
because they're looking for a new movie to play. I was
I
like,
think
when you
sometimes
play it,
there's-
make sure you do it out there. And he goes, okay. And they walked out.
The idea of boundaries is very important, and he comes from a very more regimented. We grew up on a farm. We were just
fun.
wild
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
And so, and he grew up more of in a city side. So we have different upbringings
Small town.
completely.
But I think that'll balance you guys
does.
and your kids for sure, because we obviously same thing, different upbringings.
I
He
grew up
would
in the
let
city,
things
she grew up in the
slide.
country.
Like you say, city.
He would let things slide
It's like
a
an hour and
lot
a half away from city.
more than I think. And then I'm also I'll be too uptight,
same.
and
yeah.
so then he's like, hey, they're okay.
Yeah. We're more uptight on different things,
Yeah.
So we're just speaking from our dog's perspective right now.
I
so
think
we
that's
know.
probably huge. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's gonna help you guys. We didn't have dogs. We didn't have animals until
Well, I
we got a
think
couple
it's-
cats.
like
but
it's good
And
to
cats
be in
take care of
a-
themselves.
They do.
That's why we got
It's
cats.
really good to be in a community surrounded by others that are like-minded.
Yeah.
Because part of the reason they act the way they do is because they got to see 2 kids grow up before them. And the other day when we're running sprints, my partner's wife and his daughter are coming in,
Business partner.
business partners,
Your lover.
not this partner, and they walk in
been
and they
ruined.
know what's going on, like legit, because I've seen them do this exact thing. I've seen them train their kids and like, hey man, we're not just gonna skate away now. Like it's now your choice to endure through what's going on, and if you choose not to, this is just gonna be a longer process. Just waiting for you to choose at this point to obey.
Yeah, and like having multiple kids, it's crazy to see the difference in their personalities. Like Cruz is very much like me as far as being strong-willed and like stubborn, and so that means like punishments are different with him, and they've been like really long, and then that's like taxing on me. Versus like Zeke is so easy to correct. Like literally, like I mean, I could look at him wrong, and then he's just like, okay. You know, and I'm like, wow, this is so
it's
wild.
the thing that it's his strengths. So I'm
Right,
like in this middle ground always of like, look, like I love who he is, and I want to continue to feed and fuel this savage that he is, because I want him to be a savage. That's why he's in jiu-jitsu. It's like I want him to have this fire and this grit and resilience and this, not arrogance, but like this stubbornness for continuing to do the things that you believe in. And then also you need to learn that there's times and places where you like need to reel it in.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
And that's where sports and structure comes into play. If the
For sure.
coach or instructor speaking, it's like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
don't be talking. And then any sport, soccer, whatever, go run a lap. Why are you talking when we're talking?
And I think because we have the gym, like we work out with him. He's been working out since he was like 3. So like he's already learned that like work ethic that young. So like in any
just
sport,
'cause it
they're
hurts
like,
doesn't
oh
mean you have to
wow,
stop.
he's like so good, you know, and like, but yeah, and we're always gonna keep him in jiu-jitsu because that is such a life skill. I feel like that can be carried no matter. It's a real sport, as you say.
Yeah.
And then the team
belt do
stuff
you in
are just
jiu-jitsu?
fun, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Did
You're-
no gi forever.
I feel like you're gonna be more the strict parent, which is needed because I don't know. I mean, watch it might flip. We'll
Yeah,
probably
you never
flip.
know. It'll
I'll be
be-
like,
it'll
I'm
be
strict about you
interesting.
little
Yeah.
shit.
yeah, because once they're like little, you know, I'm like, thank God they don't come out like talking
thank
and
God.
running, you know, like
Yeah.
you
Or
get
like
some
dating.
years.
Thank God they don't come out dating. I'm not prepared. Like I
Can you
just don't.
imagine? Just come out. Where's my girlfriend? My boyfriend?
Yeah, like I'm so thankful it has taken this like, you know, building up of it. And also it's just this like reminder that like, man, this little thing you're responsible for continuing to cultivate what this looks like across the long haul. And if they don't know what consequences are, that's a direct reflection on you not doing your job.
Yeah.
It's like they have to understand this happens, there's consequences. We got pulled over because he
great.
wasn't wearing a seatbelt one
Great.
day.
Everyone's gonna think
They
we're
could
terrible
see-
parents.
What do you mean? Did they
No way,
see it
come
through
on.
the
Come on,
window?
Alex.
We
This
live,
is a terrible story.
we
to
live
tell.
less than a mile from the gym.
We're open.
And we were
fine.
meeting my mom, so we just like hopped in. We're like, "Hey, come
my
on, let's
mom.
go." Her mom, and we're hey, let's
were
hop in, let's go.
following us.
And
We
yeah,
rode in
they
the
were
back of a
behind us.
tailgate. Like,
I know,
come
me
on,
too,
it's
growing
normal.
up.
It's
And
fine. It's fine.
he like poked his head out the window and like went to go like look and like
I
wave
didn't
at his
see
grandma.
this.
And
We were next to a
right next to a
cop.
cop. And so the cop literally pulled up at our house and was like, "It's your
Social
job."
worker,
And
neglect.
He thought he was going
That's literally
to
what I was thinking about. I was
jail.
like, oh my
he
God.
thought he was like,
The son?
yeah,
Your
my
son
son
thought
thought he was
jail?
going to jail. He was like, because they were like, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and he was like, he started like
They
crying.
put the
and I was
fear
like,
in him.
My grandma was like,
I'm
"It's
like,
my
hey.
fault. I was behind them."
Yeah,
And
I was
I'm like,
like-
"No, mom. Like he can't
And
be
you're
hanging
like,
out the
take
window."
him.
So
Teach
we
him
made
a
him pay
lesson.
for half the ticket because it was half his fault, half our fault.
Yeah,
because
I should have made sure he was buckled for sure. Like,
You
that
made
was
your
my
kid
fault.
pay for half the
Yeah.
ticket?
Yeah.
Smart. Where'd he get his money?
Just work it off, man.
He just
Or
like
birthday
you know,
money,
like
whatever
birthday
you make,
monies.
yeah.
He has a little
Yeah.
bank that he's like
You're
saved up for or
brilliant.
something.
Yeah, this is bail money. You could have gone to jail if it weren't for us.
Did he have a
Remember
hard
that.
time giving you the money? Was he like, I don't want to? But you had to teach him, like, hold strong on it?
I think no, because we were already talking. We've already done that with other things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, he saved up his money for a Switch because I was not getting them video games or
Yeah.
anything. Which we also only do video games on the weekends. It's like a privilege. It's
Screen
like
time.
we don't
Yeah.
have screen
It's
time.
like
Like
crack
this is a
cocaine.
privilege. I get to watch a movie right now.
Told you not.
That's like they're like probably think this is the best thing ever. But yeah,
Paul
we don't
Dominus,
do
that's
it.
how I would know.
Hey,
We don't do
you're the reason.
screen time except for on weekends, and it's because he likes to play video games too.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
Do you monitor the stuff they watch before they watch it?
well, yes.
I mean, they really
they-
only watch what
when we are watching.
That's right. So,
So
it's
we,
not
like,
like,
pick movies
hey, hang out
together.
with YouTube and just do that.
I will say
They're only
we've
on Grand
made
Theft
some
Auto.
interesting decisions before. We watched the Boston Bomber.
Yeah.
With your
Yeah.
kids?
That was do not
Was that
recommend.
based on the Boston Marathon?
Yes,
Yeah.
I didn't remember it being that crazy.
I mean, it was a terrorist attack movie.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It was. I mean,
They were a little freaked out.
I'm okay with what's happening. This is a historical event.
But we talked about it.
Yeah.
So it was good
Obviously
education
theatrical,
moment.
but
Are your kids
you know.
on social media?
Watch
do you post
Saving Private
them
Ryan
on
with
your
the
personal
boys.
pages?
Oh yeah, we post
On
them,
social
but
media?
they're not like they don't get on social media.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think you'll let them get cell phones and do all this
We'll
stuff?
hold off on that as
Thank you.
long as we possibly
as long as you can.
would like to.
I think it's one of those things like situation, responsibility, all those things like their character, those play the role in like that. And then obviously that would be super monitored too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I only got a phone because I had to call my mom from soccer practice.
How
And it
old were
was
you when
like-
you got your phone?
I was like 15, I think.
What about you?
Probably pretty early. I had a beeper too. I had a pager in middle school.
They
I
were
was in
cool.
college.
Don't take those.
I'm
in the
old,
Middle
though.
East.
Oh my gosh. Don't.
Too soon.
Dude. I heard about that and I was like, holy smokes. First of
some
all, very thought out.
Special agent
Wow.
stuff right there.
She has no idea what we're talking
I
about.
don't. I am
The pager
very
bombing?
bad about.
Me
The
too.
Hezbollah terror group was
I only know because he told me.
was attacked through pagers.
They had pagers.
That was
Hey,
how they gave
pagers.
signals for their
And then-
terrorist group,
Oh, that's terrible.
and they all detonated at the exact same time. So some people
Somebody
died,
found
and some
out.
people just blew up the sides of their bodies. They
Oh
had,
my god.
yeah, the
Somebody
Israel
found out the code and detonated them all the
secret
terrorists.
agents put in bomb devices in pagers. That's
Yeah.
insane.
And
When
they
I saw that, I was
definitely
like,
blew 'em
"What?
up.
This isn't a movie. That's
This
real."
isn't a
That's
movie.
crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
Wow.
scary too.
It is
Very
pretty
I know.
scary.
They're like, I don't want an iPhone anymore. Like if that could blow up.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. We'll leave them
Think?
here. Okay.
Yeah. No, there's no technology
I
in this
have
room.
thought about going back to a flip phone.
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes I do. Yeah.
one with
Think about
snake
it.
on it.
You'll
you know
just
what I
look
mean?
like a
Like,
drug
what?
dealer on your burner. Just
You know, it's that
Prepaid
fine balance
minutes
because
only.
obviously you
Paul,
can't.
yeah.
We can't not have phones. Like
Mm-hmm.
our business, everything.
Exactly.
Like,
Marketing,
is-
you
yeah,
name
it's
it.
like you can't nowadays. So like, how do you manage that? And I think we did a little experiment where we got off our phone, social media for a week. And we went through some like emotional roller coasters. We first were like, "This is great. This is gonna be awesome."
scratching at the
Yeah, and then the
You would
next
just find
day,
yourself looking at it and you're like,
Yeah.
I
the
want to
next
grab
day
it so
you're
bad.
like, holy crap, like this is so ingrained. And then I felt depressed the third day.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, and he kind of felt the same way. So then we were like, but then after that, like the full week, it was like, this is good. And
Well,
then
one
it's just-
thing that we started to do too is ice baths, and ice baths is just a good way to kind of shock everything
Mm-hmm.
and make you not focus on whatever was happening. And I mean, there's a bunch of other benefits of ice baths, but just choosing to like not be so comfortable and challenge yourself
Yep.
in certain ways does help you to build kind of this resiliency to go, do I need to be on my phone right now? Am I just death scrolling through social media?
Yeah.
And
Commercials on TV. Like when a
30 minutes
commercial
have
comes
gone
on.
by, and you're like, "Oh my god, I haven't moved."
We do this thing now, and we're both aware of it. Where if we're watching a show and a commercial pops up or an ad, we immediately pick up our phones during the commercials.
Yeah, we do it too.
And I'm
It's
like,
crazy.
what are we doing?
And then,
know.
and
We
then the
can't
first to
even
put theirs
spend-
down goes, "Why are you on your phone?"
Yeah, and I'm like, now this new thing is, I'm like, are you bored? Because if he's on his phone while we're watching a show, and we're calling each other out. Like we're bored
Yeah,
that
I
we
know,
can't
we
even
don't-
sit and watch a show now because we're like, it's too
I know.
long form. We're used to these
Yeah.
Get
quick.
to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't double tap my
I need a
TV.
hit.
Yeah,
I need a hit real quick.
You need a hit
I
of
need
the
a hit
phone.
real
It's so
quick.
true.
Which is like I like make us go camping. We're going camping this next weekend.
I make us go.
You wanna
camping.
take our van?
Make us go camping.
Oh, that'd be
Challenge
fucking
your marriage. It'll be
awesome.
great.
Yeah. Does it
It
gonna
really
fit
is.
4?
Yeah, well, not-
It can.
You'll be
Don't
close.
tempt us.
It's actually really awesome. We had the best time of our lives in the year. But go ahead, continue about you.
But I like to camp and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny, like when we talk about marriage, how like, oh,
Why
like,
are you
how do
saying
you
I
make it
don't
work?
like to camp? She's like putting
He
the
doesn't.
stigma on
I don't
me.
think he likes to.
I don't
You're a
like to
farm
camp.
girl.
I'm
Come
really,
on.
I'm really
You did
looking
not
forward to
grow
camp.
I'm an outdoorsman, but I don't like
David
camping.
doesn't like to camp.
I like glamping.
understand,
I will
yes.
take our
We
Sprinter
love
He's my
glamping.
bougie.
B-class
We're country
beast
We also
off-road
like
vehicle and
cityways
sleep in it.
too.
Uh-huh.
But like, I was like, we're like tent camping this time. So I'm interested to see how he'll react. Unless the bar
What are
else
you,
they had, and I don't know.
homeless?
Hey, if you need a hit, just text us and be like, get me out of here.
What do you
Send
look
us
like?
your location.
What are you
We'll
going under
get
a
you.
bridge or something? That's where tents
David's
are
gonna
around here.
fly a drone in with. Look, you just pop this up real quick and you have AC. Ready?
Exactly.
There's something so
fan.
great about just like grounding yourself and like getting rid of your phones for the weekend, just like being out in nature.
I
Oh,
agree.
for sure. I did
So
it for a year.
needed.
Yeah.
We would just take a right turn and have no service for a week.
If you ever want to go off grid or just go hiking, call me. I love it. I love being in nature. I love being in the
know.
trees.
I like being at the
Me
beach,
too.
all the things. So
Yeah, I'm your girl. Call me
You're
anytime.
literally just fueling her desire
Yeah.
right
Well,
now.
I feel like we're very similar on.
Yeah.
We're the country folk.
Like-
yeah.
You bougie
Be
little
barefoot
city
all the
boy.
time.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm a hippie.
Yeah, her high school was right next to a cotton cornfield.
Yeah,
so-
that was
Did you
normal.
say cotton cornfield?
Where'd
Is
you-
that-
Cotton and
were you
Cotton
from?
and peanut. Okay.
Oh, peanut.
Were you Midwest?
Apologies.
Because
What'd
you
you
have
call
a, where were you from?
I'm from
What's that,
Pace,
peanut?
Which
What'd
is
you call me?
Pensacola.
You're from Florida?
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll catch like a little Midwest
My
thing
mom's
you
from
say.
Wisconsin. So
That's what it
maybe
is. That's what it is.
It's Wisconsin.
You have an
Wisconsin?
accent?
I guess.
A smidge.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
If she
I
says
don't
it
know,
again,
dude.
I don't know. Did I just change it?
if
What
she
do you
does it
think I
again,
sound
I'll
like?
let you
Dude,
know.
that is one of the biggest pet peeves I always had with Alex was when he changes his voice to match people's voices.
So I don't.
Shut your face.
He does that?
He does that. He changes their
I knew
his
I liked
accent.
you. So like when I'm talking to people, I will literally I'm mirroring you as
too.
closely as I possibly can without it being awkward
Mm-hmm.
to me, I guess, or to them. And, like when I love connecting with people and then she's like, hey, you talk to them weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I talk to them
How they like to be
talk to me.
talked to.
And it's
I was
easier
like-
to understand because some of the people that come in, they just like accents but speak moderate amounts of English. Paul actually pointed it out 3 days ago. He's like, why do you talk to her like that?
Muito obrigado.
I'm like, she's Brazilian. He's like, I thought she was Polish. And he's like, you're racist, Alex. I'm like, no, I'm not. She is Brazilian. I'm not like assuming she's Brazilian.
Was she Polish?
No, she's Brazilian. Yeah. It's and I learned just enough Portuguese to be able to speak to her. And
Is he right here?
He is right here.
Polly, get in here and say hi.
Yeah, what's going on?
You got to step in and be on.
Smiling so much.
You got to be on camera so
Smiling's his
people can
favorite.
see you.
The fact that you guys
Here.
got together.
Look at this camera and say
Yeah,
hi.
I told you.
Polly's.
I told you.
I told you.
So when I talk to Paul, I talk like
Wow.
this sometimes.
Yeah,
Okay.
racist.
That's such a gay Brazilian.
That, I don't even know.
Why do you talk like that with him?
Exactly.
I don't even know how to talk like Paul, man.
I don't think that's an
I don't even
ethnic
know.
voice either, though.
It's a tone.
Exactly.
Polly, we got to get you back in
very
here
good.
because
I actually have a real question.
Do these
What
make
does this look like on your head?
Did these look weird?
Yeah.
doesn't he look
Don't
like
they
Mickey
look
Mouse?
He looks like a DJ.
He does look. No, he looks like.
Okay, now this is look
Party
at the difference.
people!
This is what they normally look
Yeah,
like.
that
Actually,
looks
just
normal.
party people.
No, you
More like-
gotta leave it right here on your side.
More like a smiley face with
He does look like a smile. Like he looks like Mickey Mouse. I know. Well, this podcast is getting out of control. We have to probably wrap this.
Let's wrap it up.
Not because I want to, but we got to get you on next time and do an update on your Iron Man. For those of you who don't know, Paulie just did his first Iron Man,
Great.
and
Are
we
you gonna
talked.
do another one?
I am.
We talked
May
pre Iron Man
In Tejas.
a couple weeks ago. So if you missed that episode, go check it out because he's got a great story.
That's right.
Yeah,
stuff.
we'll link it here.
All right, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah,
Boys
I
and
could talk
girls.
to you guys all day. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are so much fun.
I hated this conversation.
Yeah,
Gosh,
can't wait
just
to
did not enjoy it.
Can't wait to have you both back on again.
She said the same thing to me.
What did I say?
Oh,
Did I?
wow.
Polly, you were
Is this
special.
the
You're not
plug
supposed
here?
to. But for people who do want to find more about militia fitness, come to the gym, learn about your uncommon tribe,
Yeah. So
work with you on fitness
Yeah.
competitions, how do they find you?
You can follow us on social media. So on Instagram at militia_fitness.
No, .fitness.
We'll plug it underneath here.
We'll put it in the description, so
Nah.
anything that he says, we will
Fitness.
correct. I promise.
She's definitely my fact checker on everything.
Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong.
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 MF is in Militia Fitness, Sandy Toes, and she's Miss Sandy Toes on Instagram.
Yeah,
So
they're cute.
you can find us there.
MF
Say
Sandy
so.
Toes.
And be on the lookout for Uncommon Tribe. My partner, his Instagram is MF Mindset, and he's releasing daily devotionals, which are fantastic. If you read the Word and you're looking for a different interpretation, something a little bit deeper, he releases stuff all the time. And the Uncommon Tribe, it comes out soon. And I think it's going to really help people change lives.
And we'll link that personality test thing underneath too. So if you guys,
Oh,
Take
yeah.
the
for people who want
personality
to
test.
learn,
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I'm
if
gonna
you
do
want to
it.
find somebody to help you know what that means too.
Yeah,
I
we
know
have
a
a
guy.
friend, yeah.
Okay,
So,
deal.
yeah.
Cool.
Actually, I'll plug him. His
Maybe
name is
we'll have him on.
Rocket Fuel Coach Bill Mason.
You should.
Should we? We think
I
he'd be a
told-
good person to talk
He
to.
would.
Is that his?
Dude.
Is that his
Will
handle?
you
Yes.
connect
His handle
us?
is
That'd be
Rocket
I
Fuel
fun.
almost
Coach.
said, "Is that his screen name?" Almost dated
You
myself
are
there.
a
Oh
well
my gosh.
chat.
When he logs
Okay.
in on AIM,
Can we finish on what was your aim name?
Oh, great. I don't even know. what mine
DJ
is.
Playa 44.
How do y'all know this?
Oh,
I don't
Pimpin' Ain't
remember this.
Easy.
Do you remember?
DJ
Mine was
Player
Lilash
44.
42.
I
A girlfriend
was
made
not
it for me.
allowed to have that, so my dad was Intel military. So
Oh
I
yeah,
had an
he was
email.
like, "You won't be on the
My
internet."
email was like soccer chick something.
That sounds about right, though.
Yeah.
I think
sure
I
that
dated
would've
a
been
fourth grader with like some random, where like the
David,
sporty
you
girl
shouldn't say that,
42.
David.
Wouldn't that be weird if you dated if that was her? She
No, I
do an
said I dated
online
a fourth
date.
grader.
Oh my god.
Wait. What was your name again?
Yeah.
She goes, "You were DJ Playa 44."
all these years.
I wonder where you went.
What are those chat rooms?
cheeks
That was a thing.
Mine too.
What's that thing?
Just
The chat rooms.
And people, that was where like
Literally
the
just-
Yeah.
dirty,
I wasn't
dirty
allowed
talk.
on those.
Me either.
I
I was not allowed
got
on
into trouble on some of those.
Yeah.
Now that's just called OnlyFans.
Well, I mean, it wasn't me. I was being preyed upon. I didn't know.
What? This is now getting really
Okay,
deep.
here's the
Holy
deal.
smokes.
To go into now it's Reddit.
My
right?
girlfriend had dial-up internet. She lived 3 miles down the road from me.
Yeah.
We lived over this hill, and there was no internet. We had like
donkey.
we had rabbit ear TV. We didn't have cable. We just got internet out there,
Last week.
like maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Wow.
Maybe that's a stretch
It is in
even.
the country.
Yeah, and so like
Where
there was
is
this was in
Franklin,
Tennessee,
Tennessee.
which is not a country place, but where we
Tennessee.
were was like the last on the maps to
Literally
get it.
Tennessee. It's a country place.
Yeah, but Franklin's not country. It was
Compared to
anyway. Compared to like we're like right outside of Nashville.
Okay.
So there's a point to all this. Anyway, so I go to my friend's house to log in to do all this stuff, and I didn't know the rules, so I'd end up
Yeah.
in situations where I'm like, oops.
situations.
I mean, there were creepers. There were creepers out there.
Oh, yeah, it was always
and
like
with
a
the name
big fat
Lilash
dude.
42, Lilash. I mean, I don't even know what it means. My girlfriend made my
Li-
name. I
it's
have
a
no
lie.
idea.
It
It
My
wasn't even
girlfriend made it
Lilash.
for
It was
me.
just no. My name's Lyle Ash.
I'm actually a guy, Lyle Ash.
Yeah, but you'd
From
start conversations
Franklin,
with people.
Tennessee.
You know, guys would start talking. You're like, "Oh, this
Your
is
uncle.
fun. Let's talk." And then they start doing naughty things. And you're like, How do I get out of this?"
That's scary.
I know.
That's why my dad did not let me on.
That's
Smart.
why kids should
Yeah.
not be on social.
This is why Archie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because China controls it all.
You talking about TikTok?
Yes.
And this has been shifting.
Oh, should we talk about where you shifted your focus? That's the whole
They did.
point.
They said every
yeah.
day they're pivoting and shifting. So.
That's true. She
Dang,
did
you
subtly
said that
do
and you
it. She
did. Not
did.
even pluck.
Pivot.
Did
What's
you know what you were doing?
No, but what's crazy is we talked about this like I don't even remember if I heard it somewhere, but someone said something about
Watched
you
a
should-
podcast.
I don't know about pivoting.
Probably the pivot.
I don't know.
Shifting
but I
focus.
was like,
Or is it a
that's what-
basketball game where you're like, oh, that's his pivot foot?
She doesn't.
It's probably banging outside. I thought
They
you
are
were
kids,
tapping
who
your
knows?
feet underneath
No,
the
it's not
table.
me. But yeah,
But
we
I feel
just
like- yeah. Where
we
in your
are
life did you guys have to
always
shift? Yeah.
multiple
kids.
times? Always. I feel like, so pivotal moments. Okay, marriage. We had to shift.
Becoming a partner at the gym.
Had to shift that.
Did you ever
Yeah,
think you'd be
awesome.
an owner in a gym? Like, did you?
Absolutely not.
Right. So what did you
wild.
think you were going to do with your life? And then,
Apparently, I thought I was gonna be a social worker and save a million babies. Like
Yeah. I was running a barbecue restaurant.
he thought he'd probably take that over one day. So like, who knows where we would have been? I
Slanging
think
ribs.
you know we were young, so I don't even think we even knew what we
I
wanted
wasn't
to do.
gonna
We just knew like
is that your AOL name?
Slanging,
Slinging ribs.
slinging slabs.
that one's not
slanging
taken.
something else.
So you shifted.
Dipped
So
in
yeah, as a
barbecue
business owner,
sauce.
that was a big learning curve.
Did you know you always wanted to have kids? Was this?
Yes.
You
For
did.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we wanted to have 3 or more, and then we had 1, and I was like,
I don't want to be pregnant again.
Yeah.
but
And you
I
said
was like, I
2
knew I
later.
wanted 2 because I wanted like them to have a sibling because I grew up with siblings and he did too, and like, so we knew that. So we like,
Yeah.
pivoted, learning how to be a parent, and then now I feel like we're in this space where we're pivoting. Like we have years of marriage under our belt, and I feel like we are helping lots of other people that are in our life.
Yeah, I don't
with
know like when that
that
happened,
aspect
but that
of their life,
pivot
but like
and
where
shift
we are
came.
the mentors. When I'm like,
Yeah.
hold up, I'm still
Yeah.
trying to go to my
Yeah,
people.
it was like
Wait,
2 weeks ago. I was like,
Why are they asking
Wait,
me?
we're old.
I'm an old head. I'm an
wow.
unk. I'm like, I didn't mean to be here. What in the heck? But
Yeah.
it just, yeah. it
People
just-
are now
we
looking
moved,
up to
like,
you.
Yeah.
6 times in like a few, like
4 or
5
5
years.
years.
Like we like
kept getting
pivoted every
evicted.
time. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like broke. Went down to 1 car, 1 paycheck. We like did all the things, and so I feel like
Yeah.
we're really great at pivoting. Yeah, sometimes I think I pivot too much. So I
Good
have to
at
stay in
landing
my
on your
lane.
feet.
Mm-hmm.
every
She's
Yeah.
time.
not
Trying to figure it
futuristic, so
out.
she's like, what
Oh,
is
yeah, like, let's
this?
go-
What's this look like? And then she'll be like, we need to do it right now. Like, let's just start punching the tickets.
That's me
So,
too.
Yeah.
You know,
It's me too.
raised beds, chickens.
Yeah,
Yep.
we have chickens.
Yep. I looked.
You know.
We gotta talk about chickens.
That's a whole other thing. That's
Yeah.
fun.
A whole new world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, you guys are very
Yeah.
inspirational. I love your story. I love your parenting style. We're definitely going to be leaning on you guys a lot.
Yeah. It takes a
You got
tribe.
some
That's the
you got
literal thing,
mentees
so.
here.
Uncommon tribe.
I don't think think we got to figure it out, but we at least have like 7 years of experience.
That's more than what we have. That's going to be very helpful because I'm assuming we're going to hit a point where we're just lost. We're not going to know what to do.
I think that's like this.
If anyone tells you
I
they had it
feel lost
figured out,
sometimes
that's not
Sometimes
true.
we look at each other and we're like, I don't like. Are we doing a good job? I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm so ill-equipped. That's what I feel a lot of the times.
Yeah.
You learn on the job.
You really do.
Yeah.
Like, you think back to what your parents did or anything. It's like everybody's just figuring it out. And really what they want is they want to have you. That's actually something that I had to come to as well, was like, my kids didn't ask me to own a gym. They didn't ask me to do any of this. They just wanted a dad. So I don't have any excuse to come back and be like, oh, I've been at work all day. It's like, they don't care.
It's true.
We'll go freaking hop in a van and go drive. And they'd be like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to go camping this week. They'd be like, no toilets.
They're
Cool.
so
It's
excited.
like,
Not about
they
that.
don't.
but-
Yeah.
I've always wanted to pee outside.
I think they have
every day.
toilets.
It's like they,
Dude, my kid,
they
they
don't care.
love to pee outside.
It's all-
I do
that's
too.
what every
That's me.
boy wants to do.
Yeah.
Our boy's going to be a wild
That's
animal.
life.
You
Yeah,
just-
let them be. I
Shower
think,
outside, pee
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Pee in the shower.
Outside.
That's what I want to do.
Until
I
I
want
want
to
an AC,
homestead.
and then it better be off.
Till
Agreed.
summer in Florida.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get me in.
All right. This has been fun.
I know.
Yeah.
So much
Do it again
fun.
sometime.
I know.
Thanks, guys.
See you
We'll
at the
hang
gym.
out.
Come work
I'll
out.
be there.
I hope so.
Me too. I'm going to get this body back. I might need some help.
Let's do it.
I know what to do. I need someone to hold me accountable.
Yeah.
Need
Just-
accountability.
And we're really fun at the gym.
You're
We're-
fun here. I can imagine at
If
the
I'm
gym.
doing,
I'm
gosh,
really
and we
fun.
keep segueing. I'm ready to leave as well. I love you guys. It's okay.
She's
I'm gonna
wrapping us
trick
up.
you into having fun with fitness, and fitness will be the byproduct.
That is our goal. Like
we need it to be fun again.
that. Like
High
we want
vibes.
people
Yeah.
that this is like the best hour
I
of their
am a
day.
DJ.
Yeah.
That's what we.
Playa 84.
44.
Because, and just
44.
what I tell David is I grew up in the gym. I was a gym rat. I love the gym. I love fitness. And then I did a competition and I was like, it's a chore. It became something I had to do instead of something I wanted to do. And I was like, I don't want to,
Okay, preferential
I don't wanna
gym
be in the
day,
gym
like day or
anymore.
upper day.
but I love working out.
Upper.
I just was over it.
Bench and
So now it's
curls.
starting to come back. It's
Yeah.
starting to come
Leg
back.
day.
Yeah.
Hip thrust.
Yeah.
Wednesdays.
I like a lot of.
Cool.
I like a athletic background, like functional shit. So like
Oh, you would love our program.
Yeah.
movements.
You guys
Speaking
can be
my
good.
language. Love it.
And we
Like,
can
just
bring our
straight
baby.
bench press. I'm like, wow.
You're speaking my language, but you don't
Came from
hate
Gold's
bench
Gym,
press.
so like the Mecca, literally Venice Gold's Gym. That's where a lot of our fitness stuff and
Yeah.
filming started. So it was like bodybuilding stuff all the
But
time.
you don't hate bodybuilding. You want to be
No.
functional, but it's nice to do curls, right?
Yeah.
Like I
That is
need
militia
to be
fitness.
300
Cool.
pounds
Yeah.
at like 4% body fat by the end of the month.
You would
Bet.
squash me.
What's
Where do
that?
I fit in that?
What's that drug you mentioned earlier?
Winstrol, Trenbolone,
Adderall,
what do you
or
want?
not Adderall? Adderall. What's the steroid?
We're gonna be so focused.
It's a combination of
We're
growth,
gonna be so focused. when we
growth,
start.
And a bar.
Ozempic, and Adderall combined.
Oh my gosh, that's a cocktail, huh?
That's right. You're very small but jacked.
Yeah.
And flabby. It's weird.
Amazing. Well, we'll be in touch. We'll come check out the gym.
Yes.
And we look forward to hanging out with y'all more.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being with us today, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Peace out. See ya.